wait, 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 wait.
Wait for it. HasanAbi.
Campus anywhere in solidarity with the Palestinians. This is what it's about, okay? I did not stop advocating for the cause, and now I don't feel lonely. I don't feel as lonely anymore, and that's because of you guys. I hope that you can continue advocating for the right things.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. Fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from gloomy and doomy California, Los Angeles. Folks, we're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, I hope all the girls, and I hope all the MBs are having a fantastic one, because today's a beautiful day. Today is a wonderful day. Today is hump day. It's Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, October 16, 2024. We are basically fucking 3 weeks out from the goddamn 2024 election. And it is a foggy, buggy, terrible day in Los Angeles. But let me tell you, regardless of that, we are still going to have a good one. I have a lot of stuff to get through immediately in terms of personal news, obviously. As you guys know, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about what's going on in the world of HasanAbi Piker. Fireglass is Unk. Thank you. I found it in my closet. It's like super old. I think it's like some fucking random Italian brand that like some of these PR people that were fans of mine sent me, because it says handmade in Italy. And I had it when I was a broke boy. And I never actually wore it when I was a broke boy, because I was like, I don't have anything that I can wear it with. You know what I mean? But now I'm not so broke, even though I got it for fucking free. It's a very cool pair of glasses. I really like it. Look, you can see what the fuck is on my desk from the... When are you going to snatch up Cutie's face chain? Soon. Don't worry. Anyway, big day today. We got a lot of guests coming on. Noah Kulwin is staying with me. Noah Kulwin of Blowback is going to be staying with me for a little bit, I think. For a couple days, I forgot. Lola was supposed to be staying with me as well. I don't know where the fuck his ass is at. He's too busy getting a job and losing it, probably. Felix Biederman is going to be in the building. He's not staying with me. He lives here. And also, STAVVYBABY. Stavvy freaking baby. He is going to be in the building as well. Did you see Will Brooks' Swish toy like you did? He's trying to be me, dude. Are you previewing the new merch? Yep. People that are fans. For a long time, I already know I always do this thing where I start drip feeding you the merch secretly. Start rocking it right before the release date. That's how you know that the release date is coming. You know what I mean? Because I you know, very bad at promotion. So got some really cool fucking merch coming out. Really cool apparel coming out. Very happy with this product. How about you leak some gaming streams? Man, dog, brother, sister, MB, calm down, okay? I want to get back to gaming, and I know that a lot of people will be like, Hasan, I don't believe you, but like, I just literally don't have time, dog. There's a shit ton of craziness happening in the world. The election season is upon us. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have like a Greek Turkish link up here. Can you watch the Asmon apology video with Stavi and Felix? They'd make it so funny. I don't know if I'll be able to wait for them to watch it. Because it's gonna take they're gonna come later. You know how Felix is, bro. He'll be like, oh, I'll be there at 1. I'll be there at 1, and then motherfucker comes up at like 4 p.m. Okay, he comes over at like 4 p.m. every time. You know how it is. Anyway, oh my god, Kaya snoring so loudly. But yeah, personal news wise, last night something very consequential happened. Last night something very important happened. Last night, officially, I, HasanAbi Piker, caught up to One Piece. Yeah, I caught up to One Piece. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful journey it has been catching up to One Piece. But it's also very sad. Why is it very sad? Because right as I caught up to fucking One Piece, I found out that it's going on a break for 6 months. Are you kidding me? Why? Oda, why? Toei, why? Did you wait for me to finally get to the end of the show to fucking go on a 6-month hiatus? That's insane, dude. That's insane. It took me 2 fucking years. 2 fucking years to finally catch up to the goddamn anime. Trials and tribulations. Time off from the anime. Month-long breaks where I went back to other animes that I was watching. I tried to read the manga instead. I literally did it all. I went One Piece. I went dubbed. I went subbed. I went back and forth. I finally fucking catch up after 2 goddamn years. And they went on a 6-month break, bro. What are you doing? I'm so mad. I'm so goddamn mad. What will I do? This is like 2 years of consistency. This has taken up a significant portion of my life. Chat. This was my thing. This is the thing that I did. And now I don't have it. I don't, like, people go, oh, watch Dandadan. Yeah, I do. I watched My Hero Academia last night after I was done with the anime, and I had to take a little bit of a breather. Nothing compares now. It's so dense and it's so lore heavy. Nothing compares. It fucking, there's just nothing. There, like the comfort and the security and the freedom of knowing you always have a main that you can go back to every single day, day in, day out. It's over. It's over. Like, I don't think people understand. I feel like a part of me is lost now. And I did that thing that I sometimes do in video games too. I know video game watchers in this community know this. I did that thing where I just like tried to, like, when it was becoming real that it was about to end for me, I literally started like just pausing randomly and just walking around the house and then just coming back to it. You know, I was just like trying to edge it out. I was like, maybe if I edge it out, I can edge it out for 6 months. I also don't know what I will do when the fucking manga and the anime end in general. Like, what will I do? I don't know.
Are you crying?
Goodbye, old friend.
What the hell is on your arm? Is that a tattoo? What is that?
1 week, 6 months.
Bro, what?
They'll know what that means. They'll know what that means.
Nobody is gonna know what that means. You are not going on a training arc.
I'll see you in 6 months, old friend.
Bro, this is not a time skip. You are not going on a training arc. Oh my gosh, bro. This is why I can't stand One Piece fans.
Oh. $30 days versus 6 months. Vote Brandon 2024. If Brandon was going to force One Piece to come back, then it's fine. Also, let me tell you something, okay? 6 month hiatus is one thing. 6 month hiatus aside, if they were, I don't know, working on like restructuring the show and we could at least watch that shit in the time frame, I would give it a rewatch. I would give the entire thing a rewatch. It's not even a joke. I'm dead serious. If they did a faster pace remaster, and I heard that they're doing a remake of Fishman Island, condensing it down to 21 episodes, which is very exciting. But like, I don't know, man. I just... It's hard. It's hard. These are big difficulties, dude. These are big difficulties. These are trying times, okay? These are trying times, chat. HasanAbi Hogwatch later, leftist Trumper. What is this? This has 0 likes, man. You just sent me something with 0 likes. You're out of your mind. I'm not watching that. Anyway, Fishman Island was one of the best arcs. You guys were too stupid to get its themes. Yeah, you're right. Me, a political commentator who routinely talks about racial inequality, chattel slavery, and its historic significance, is too stupid to understand the themes, as opposed to fucking Oda, a random Japanese guy. Me and Matt Owens both share the exact same opinion. Matt Owens is the person who is doing the live action One Piece for Netflix, a black man in the United States of America, one of the biggest One Piece heads that I know, and myself agreed on Fishman Island being one of the possibly best arcs that my opinion on Fishman Island was it was supposed to be the best arc, and I think it was a little hollow at the end of it. You guys know this already. And I think part of that is because while Oda is great, Oda is great overall, I think he's still like there's just certain aspects of it that felt a little bit too hollow. That's it. Anyway, but besides that point, like Fishman Island, just like every post time skip on Toei it was incredibly fucking slow, and it could have been packaged better. So, you know, we'll see. I gotta pick up this phone call. Shit. I got the boss call from Oda. He said he's gonna bring it back. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, Oda was calling. He's making the boss call. The manga is taking a 2-week break after Sunday too, I think. Imagine if mainstream media had to do a personal news segment. I mean, I don't have to do it. I like doing it. But yeah. That's those are my thoughts on One Piece. Other than that, personal news wise, I went to bed kind of sad, feeling kind of hollow. Woke up, saw this incredibly funny tweet on my subreddit. I think Hasan Piker has been trying to make himself browner for his audience, performing brownface through lighting or filters. Look at him before October 7 and now. I think it's really funny that my haters consistently end up making a fool of themselves. It's just like it's the sun. It's called the sun. Like when you go outside and you are actively outside, as I am, with regular frequency, you get tan. It's not like, that's not a meme. This is a legitimate thing that a person said. This is a legitimate thing that a person said in, I suspect, a hater community. What is this? Why did you delete this LeBron post? Ending my day with the king inside me? Dude, even I'm not that big of a fucking dick rider, okay? I think it's pretty funny. You can look at this and then remind yourself that you can be in a dark place in your life. You can be in a sad place in your life, but at least you're not in such a sad, pathetic state of affairs that you forgot how sunlight works on people's bodies. Like you have, like, this is the type of shit. This is the type of shit that you come up with as a conspiracy when you are such a fucking shut-in that you literally forgot how sunlight works. Like how it works when you go outside and you get fucking sunlight. American Hikikomori failing to understand why you would get tan over the summer months. Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. This is when you know they're full 100% saltine wafer. You're from the Middle East. The second you touch grass, you get a nice golden skin tone, unlike this saltine wafer who turns to a lobster. Yeah, I like, this is what I look like if I go out in the sun. It is normal. It is not called Brown face. Fellas, is it brown face if you go outside and you get kind of tan? Is great. Anyway, speaking of which, though, I am weak. I'm a weak man. And let me tell you why I'm a weak man, okay? Because I still can't hit 225 for 10. And not only have I not been able to hit 225 for 10, which was an easy fucking set for me literally like 2 years ago. I have lost so much strength in my chest. I've lost so much strength in my chest. I do cluster sets where I try to hit 15 with like very limited rest in between. And I can barely rep 5 out in a row. And that is devastating. So I'm explaining something to you guys. I'm being very honest. And I'm telling you that all of my other lifts have basically almost reached my lifetime PR in terms of strength. My deadlift is close to my lifetime PR, if not maybe even past my lifetime PR. My squat is not close to my lifetime PR, but at least like close enough, a lot closer than that. Whereas my chest, my bench press, nowhere near. And it's very frustrating. I don't know. Time to sacrifice form. You can't sacrifice form on a bench press at 225, chat. There is no sacrificing form. It is heavyweight regardless, whichever way you cut it. And I hate it. I don't know if it's because my form is better. I don't know what's going on. I have spent a whole bunch of time ensuring, because like there was a point in time when I would just like immediately, if I did bench press on a barbell, my shoulder was out. Okay. And for a year almost, I did a lot of rehab on my rotator cuffs. I strengthened my scaps. I strengthened my upper back and my lower lats. And I think it's, of course, the deficit that I'm in. I'm Deficit Daniel, as you guys know. Right? I'm Mr. Deficit Daniel. More leg drive. I couldn't do leg drive. The first set, I did leg drive, and I got a cramp on my left hamstring. So I was like, I'm not going to do that again. But, yeah. And you can tell, like, I'm putting it up with relative ease. Like, you can tell I'm putting it up with relative ease. But then by 5, I'm like, I'm out. I'm gassed. Yeah. And for the record, you should never sacrifice form. It does not matter how little weight you put up. It does not matter how little weight you put up. What matters is doing it with the right form. You should always be safe. Body and legs moving quite a bit too. No, that's normal. That's not like, what? That amount of movement is normal. I'm pushing. I'm like flexing and trying to drive power from my heels and my lower back. That amount of movement is less than what you normally would expect. They should be still. What? No, you're wrong. The amount of movement I have is very, very low. I mean, this is fairly stable. Chatter is a 47-year-old old head. Yeah. No, on bench press, at least like contemporary bench press advocacy is like you're supposed to do max arch. Like power lifters will literally fucking put their feet up on the bench first and then slam their feet into the ground, like basically drive their feet into the ground to get the perfect arch that they can. Yeah. Yeah, and then you drive power from your heels. Has your back pain gotten better since working out more? No, of course. That all of that shit all of my pain specifically came from imbalances, like just hypertrophy in certain parts of my body and constantly sitting around. And yes, for me, did you have winging scapula? Yes, I did, Shrooms. That's exactly what I did. And I still do. Why not dumbbells instead of bar? Yeah, no, I personally like dumbbells more. And I can put up more weight on dumbbells, ironically enough. You're a mega big dude. Why such little weight? Everywhere else, I put up a decent amount of weight. But my bench press is really hard. I think the reason why my bench press is hard is because I'm double jointed, which means my joints are weaker. I work, yes, you're right. You have to work your serratus as well as your upper back, lower lats, rotator cuffs. They're so firm and all pain is gone now. Congrats on the rehab. It's life-changing. Exactly. I have wing and scaps. That's why I can like fucking pull my shoulder out like crazy. But basically, this is the one lift that mechanically having long arms and being hyper flexible is genuinely an issue with. And I haven't been able to figure it out. I've just like for years and years I've been working on this, and it's like, anyway, that's it. This is my weakest lift, and it sucks, but there's not really anything, there's not really much else I can do about it. One day, I think eventually my goal is to like hit a certain fucking, eventually my cut will end, right? And then when my cut ends, I will do a slow and very meticulous bulk. And in that time frame, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I suspect that like I'll be able to basically hit much better numbers. Facts. I'm 6'5" and I went to state in powerlifting in high school. Squatted 700, but only benched 320. Long arms and double jointed elbows. Yeah. Wild statement from the most normal HasanAbi chatter. Brother, you need to bulk and then cut. Me licking Hasi Poo's boot. I will be here for the bulk. When are you going to get on gear, bro? Maybe when I'm like 35, 36. If I start noticing a decline in my testosterone levels, then I'll probably... I feel great. So I see no reason to do so. I get blood work done, and not only that, but I also fucking feel great. So sometimes it's that simple. If you feel good, if you feel healthy, there's probably no reason for you to fucking make up for any kind of, like, you, because if you have low testosterone, it fucks you up. If I had low T, I would know I have low T. I would feel it. I would feel more sluggish. Say no to gear. I mean, I would never do like Tren or whatever, but I would definitely do TRT. Low T is fine, actually. It's okay. No, medically, it is not. Okay, like objectively, having low testosterone is not a good thing. It is a bad thing. Everyone has a level of testosterone that they need to be in. Try SARMs? No, I'm not going to do any of that shit. I'm not going to do any of that. I wish I were wired to like exercise Lamau. I use an indoor bike and I play video games and it helps. Everyone can do it. It just takes years and years of repetition, and then it becomes the only thing that you like doing. It becomes an important part of your daily activities. Okay. Anyway, let's blast off and let's get started. Asmon apology video. Oh shit. Hold on. I gotta pick up the phone call again. I went to the gym for 2 years and I just got kind of tired and picked up other hobbies. No. Asmon apology video. Brandon arms embargo that came too late. Is it Obama? Yeah, no, it was Brandon calling me. Felix, Noah Kulwin, and STAVVYBABY in the building today. Get in now. Massive day. How can Kamala still win? How Kamala can still win? Legit 3 of my favorite guests. I don't know how it just kind of worked out that way. It's pretty crazy that's just out of sheer luck. I had forgotten. I always tell people that they can come and stay with me. And I told Noah that a while back. And I totally forgot that he was supposed to be coming today. He just texted me while I had just gone live. And I was like, oh shit, great. Like, pull up. And Stavi's in LA. He hit me up a week ago. I was like, yeah, definitely come through. Felix also comes every 2 weeks on Wednesdays. So it's going to be a big day. All right, here it is. If I share this, will it stop popping up every time I join? Yes. You run a bed and breakfast? Yeah, but it's free. And the food is also free. But I do get to slut you out to my audience. That's the only thing you get. You know, I get to slut you out to my audience and you get to make content for me. You become my content slave. But you get free room and board and food. And free training. Why do you call Biden Brandon? Because it's funny. Why did you get darker after October 7? I am brown facing. I'm doing brown face. That's why. Because I want to look more brown. That's got it. Dude, there's nothing funnier. That is the whitest activity, by the way. Like, that is the most Caucasian fucking statement. That to think that, like, in a country like the United States of America, you benefit more by being brown. Okay? Like, only white people think this way. Okay? What the fuck are you saying? Yeah, dude. Americans, famously not hostile. Americans, famously not hostile towards people who they perceive as not white. Anyway, pandering to your Latina chatters with Latina Heritage Month, my ethnicity is now your costume. It's even more funny because you literally never say you are not white. I know. I always say I'm white. And it's very funny because, like, obviously, whiteness is a socio-political construct that is subject to change depending on who's saying it, depending on how they're saying it, depending on what their background is, depending on who's the one who is receiving that statement, right? And there's no better indication of this reality than like a bunch of fucking racist losers consistently deciding whether I'm white or not, depending on the moment, if it suits their argument better or not. You know? It's just like, are your pants from the same Japanese designer? No, my pants are from Rick. Pants and the boots are Rick. In Rick we trust. Anyway. Yeah, all this Rick on me like I'm mortified, chat. Kamala headquarters, what's the messaging here, HasanAbi? Wait, what is this? Not sure what's funnier, the caption or the video. Pro-Palestinian protesters are the absolute worst. Now they're targeting attendees at a weapons expo with their harassment. This just makes everyone hate your cause even more. Pathetic. That's hilarious, dude. Wow. I can't believe they're targeting people who make baby murder machines. Wow. Everybody obviously loves people who make baby murder machines. At the baby murder, like at the baby murder convention. Wow, what's next, dude? This has got to be fucking a joke, right? Like, there is no way this person, in all sincerity, wrote this out. That's awesome. Do you see Maya and Jason are having a kid? Jason the Ween? That's sick. Congratulations. Anyway, some people are basically incels, don't even bother. No, I think it's really funny that he said that. I think it's fucking hilarious that this dumbass said this shit. Will the next merch have a restock also? No. The open language against Arab people is more acceptable. Nobody talks about black people in this specific way. You opened my eyes about this. Yes. But that's also partially because like white supremacy is so deeply ingrained in American society that like you don't say the same thing about black people. You don't have to say the same thing about black people. This is a very important aspect of this. Like, you can openly fucking say, you know, trans people are freaks that need to be fucking slaughtered or whatever. You can openly say that about like Arabs and whatnot. If you say that about black people, even the most racist person will still be like, whoa, wait a minute, what the fuck? Okay, that's a bit much, don't you think? And that's because you don't need to say that about black people. It's already baked into the institutions. There is no reason to like, there's no reason to make that, you know, that to take that extra leap basically to shit on black people with like the same horrendous practices. The message is still the same though. Like I would never say that the message is still the same. I mean, yeah. Anti-blackness is perfected, someone said. It's invisible for white people, 100%. Like it's just like a invisible part of normal nature and reality. Hold on. Noah just got here. I was raised not the Curzon family, using constant slurs, even us kids. I went to see the Nothing But Thieves yesterday on your stream, and the drummer looked like you. This is the new hair, wearing a one-piece shirt. I don't know why. I thought this was hilarious. Y'all just think every white guy with like scruffy mid-length hair is the same, bro. Yeah, Noah Kulwin is here. He's in the building. He's staying with me. I'm gonna have him live react to the news alongside myself in a second. Nah, that's you. Okay, dude. Where's the Macy's? Does he have a playlist today or no? Maya X Jason clip right here.
It's twitch.tv/Maya. I recently collabed with Jason the Ween. We're madly in love. We eloped when he was visiting Texas. I am now pregnant and will be having his baby. And you can see the baby grow up on twitch.tv/Alveus Sanctuary. That's ALVEUS Sanctuary.
It's so crazy. Some lefties were mad at you, even mad that you were even engaging with them with this violent rhetoric, not seeing how important it was for you to display solid points against their rhetoric with data facts to back you up to a large audience of impressionable young men. Post 9/11, if you live on an airplane mode, you become racist, Islamophobic person. Is so pervasive. Yeah, yeah, in terms of like the Asmongold conversation, obviously like there was a goal for it. There was a reason for it. I think I achieved it. We will be watching Asmongold's My Plans Moving Forward video. This shit has fucking 500,000 in 2 hours. That's crazy. Why do you support groups that primarily kill other Arabs and act like they're simply a resistance group like Hamas, Houthis, Hezbollah, etc.? Yeah, they're faking it. Yeah. That's the thing that they're doing. They're faking being a resistance group, but their actual goal is just to kill their neighbors. Yeah. And thank God Israel is killing everyone to liberate their bodies, their souls from being killed by Hamas and Hezbollah instead. They aren't faking it, but they mainly terrorize other Arabs, sadly. Here's a really cool way to stop their influence. Okay? Here's a really cool way to stop their influence. It's called abolish the apartheid. Okay? Literally a soccer account made and follow you on the same day. I know. It's still a very dumb opinion regardless. I'm a lesser evil voter, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm voting for Joseph Robinette Brandon, who is the lesser of all evil. And as a lesser evil voter, I look at who's killing the most people, right? And who's causing the most destabilization. And obviously, when I look at one party that has a nuclear arsenal, that is getting unlimited weapons from the United States of America, that literally currently occupies territory in direct contravention of international rights and it violates humanitarian law, illegally occupying the West Bank and enforcing territorial sovereignty over 5 million people at the very least, not allowing another 6 million plus to ever enter their ancestral homelands that they were ethnically cleansed from, ethnically displaced from. And to me, I look at that and I go, well, those are the bad guys. Those are the worst guys. You know what I mean? And if anyone is going to say, I'm against that and I need to stop that, I'm probably going to be like, well, okay, at least they're doing something. And that's the truth. You know, in the words of my esteemed guest who's going to be on the broadcast in a little bit, America was deeply homophobic and had segregation as a systematized practice of white supremacy, and yet we still root for easy company when they were fucking liberating the camps. That's it. That do be bad. I just don't turn around and support the groups that also terrorize the population. I simply support the actual civilians. No, that's cool, man. So, once again, you do understand where I'm coming from, right? America had a practice of white supremacy in the books, not dissimilar to Israel, as a matter of fact, when you think about it, in terms of Jim Crow. And it was segregated. And yet you still you still look at the situation during World War II and you say, hey, there was a group of really bad guys, and then there were the Allied forces, and guess what, dude? I'm rooting for easy company. Okay? That's it. That's it. You know? Oh, shit. Noah Kulwin to the building, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me...
Let's come on in here. Oh, Asmongold apology time.
Yeah, are you familiar with what's going on?
Am I familiar? Absolutely.
You're familiar with Asmongold?
I'm familiar with
okay,
Asmongold.
You brought me some stuff. What's going on?
So this is a little friendship bracelet from Cambodia.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's Angkor Wat on there. As you can see in the red, it's a little, famous 1,000-year-old temple complex.
Okay.
And then this bad boy is a Vietnamese propaganda poster.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, Uncle Ho's right there.
And it says, because I speak fluent Vietnamese and not because the translation is taped to the back, it says, each good person, each good action is a beautiful flower, and the whole people is a beautiful forest.
Okay, you gotta give me that hat real quick. I gotta put that hat on.
Oh,
my brother just came back. My brother just came back from Vietnam.
So there's this.
There it is.
I like that. Vietnam and the Mets. That feels appropriate to me.
Yeah. I have that is from North Korea. From DPRK. Wow. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, my friend stole that. No, that's not even a joke.
No, I mean, well, that's how that guy unfortunately died, I think.
Yeah.
Otto Warmbier.
Yeah, my friend Warmbier stole it.
Yeah, your friend Otto?
Wow. No. My friend who stole it was able to steal it and not, get arrested and apprehended, but I think they were a little bit more pro DPRK in their coverage than whatever Otto Warmbier was doing over there.
Yeah.
But
no, so to your original question, I'm familiar with Asmongold. I played WoW Classic when they brought it back, which meant that I became aware of him. And you agree with everything.
I agree with sign off on everything that he's ever said.
All I know is that he got a lot of attention this week for saying something, and I don't know what it was, but I'm sure it was good, and I endorse every syllable of it.
The interesting part about what he said, I think, is that I watched the Bill Maher coverage with Chapel Roan right after having a 4-hour conversation with him over this, where I'd walked him through the steps of well, this is how bigotry works, and this kind of dehumanization ends up justifying atrocities that you don't agree with, because he's not pro-Israel either, which was what makes this even funnier, because he has time and time again been yeah, Israel sucks. But so I walked him through the conversation, and then I watched Bill Maher, and Bill Maher basically said the exact same thing, but on HBO, but he said it in a more liberal way, I guess. He couched it in liberal terms. He didn't go so far as to be yeah, they're barbaric, inferior savages that deserve death and destruction.
I mean, I did see, actually, of course I saw what he said, and it was just, oh, they're an inferior culture, da, da, da. And it's like, yeah, man, you sound like David Duke.
Yeah.
He really went after it.
Yeah. So, no, chat, he knows what Asmongold said. He's joking. He's being sarcastic when he said,
joking.
When he said fucking...
Actually, no, I want your chat to believe that I was just too captivated by Asmon's amazing looks and the whole mise en scène of his streaming den.
Yeah. Anyway, so don't worry. Fear not. This is basically... Someone said, Noah, have you considered a nose ring? You do have a fuckboy earring.
I do have a fuckboy earring.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wait, so what are you doing out here in LA?
Well, is
it a secret?
No, it's not a secret, unless it's a secret that I'm Jewish. Because we did Yom Kippur services in Pasadena.
Well, my invite got lost in the mail, I guess.
You wanted to fast, bro?
They saw that. Nah, fuck that. they saw that it was an anti-Semite of the week from StopAntisemitism.org.
Oh my god. No, I Pasadena, and then decided, gonna see some friends. I actually caught Dodgers Mets day before yesterday, or yesterday. Or day before. Yeah, anyway. And then it's playoffs. That's all. And so yeah, just enjoying LA. I even got the rental car place, they hooked me up. I reserved obviously like a Corolla or whatever, and they gave me a Mustang convertible.
Dude, that is by the way, oh my God, that is the starter LA tourist car.
Yes, dude, a white Mustang convertible. Absolutely.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And playing like Gloria, The Grateful Dead?
Did you have
all of it,
the roof
down? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Today, not so much because the weather's not so special, but this week, totally.
Yeah, that's I've done that. Like when I first visited Los Angeles, I also got that.
Yeah, there was some issue with my car, and they were like, "Well, we can give you an SUV, or do you want a convertible?" And he didn't finish getting the word out of his mouth before I said convertible.
Yeah.
Mustang,
for sure.
Mustang.
Anyway, so, hey, dude, look at this. Let me show you. Let me show you an old.
Oh man,
this is from. This is originally, it was resurfaced recently, but it's from a Facebook stream way back in the day, 20th of July, 2018, talking to Jewish Currents senior editor Noah Kulwin about Israel's controversial nation-state bill.
What? That's crazy. I mean, I know where I was when we did this interview. I remember it well.
There's a little bit of a delay.
Oh, I'm wearing the same glasses. I'm not.
I'm going to pull it out in 1 second. Why would there... Of course there's, like, issues with this.
Because hot and humid it is.
Oh wow, I needed to shave.
Oh yeah, no, I heard it's absolutely terrible in New York, and it was raining, and then your subway system completely breaks down every time it rains.
Bro, this is 2018.
Yeah, dude, that's
20. We kind of look the same. I think. I don't think we've changed.
Not that
much.
I mean, I had a mustache phase in between then and now, but it's mainly the same.
You did. It was cool.
Yeah, I'm glad I have the beard. I think my girlfriend's happier with the beard.
Dude, it's been fucking... That's crazy. That's is literally nuts. 6 years ago.
Over 6 years, Jesus.
Yeah. That's crazy, because I learned about Israel after October 7th.
Yeah, I think actually you're interviewing me like right after I just learned about Israel.
Yeah.
I think I just learned about what Israel
you were like,
was.
You learned about Israel after you became the senior editor of Jewish Currents.
Yeah, they were like, all right, so first up, we got a 101 for you. Got to learn about Israel.
Yeah.
Then talk to some streamer about it.
Isn't that crazy that we've been talking about this shit for years? Many people have, for even far before we have. And then Brianna Wu only learned about it literally after October 7 and was still saying stuff like Houthini's.
Yeah.
Houthini's.
Well, she, like, to her great discredit, is like, I think I can't think of anybody who's like exuded like consistently less chill in like the last year since all that either.
Yeah.
Like and especially for somebody who is such a Johnny come lately to it.
Yeah, it's like her and like No Opinion.
Oh my God, that guy
blows my mind.
He got the New York Times opinion section to issue a full on like like a response.
Yeah,
and that guy, by the way, I don't know if he still has it, but like he was a professor at Stony Brook.
What? He was a professor of what?
Economics, man.
Oh,
Noah Smith.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys too, where it's like every other Noah online, save for a few, is like horrible. and he's like one of them.
Dude, I think that there is something very funny about like the shameless nature of just simply learning things in the wrong way about a conflict, a genocide, and apartheid that has been ongoing for 76 years at this point, soon to be 77, and just like the shameless nature in which you can just demonstrate your lack of knowledge and people will still give you flowers for it.
Yeah.
And then when someone goes, hey, maybe you should shut the fuck up and like let people who know about this stuff speak instead, you shouldn't speak out of turn, they'll be like, excuse me, it's called learning. Why are you upset about people who are on their educational journey? It's like, no, man, I love people going on an educational journey. I just don't like people that don't know anything that act like they do know shit. But anyway, yeah, love that. It's great. Love, I'm anti-learning and anti-reading.
Anti-learning, anti-reading, no new information, no new friends.
So, my favorite no opinion is not when he did this like classic fucking genocide denial. He looked at the Holocaust and thought, this is not happening. It's not real. He did the Pallywood shit. But also, he got owned by the New York Times, who literally said, like, we saw the actual footage. But not only that, but also, my favorite no opinion take on Israel-Palestine was not when he, in early October, invented a 4-state solution or a 3-state solution, I can't remember. But after reading one Isaac Chodemer interview with a rabid settler, he invented BDS. Do you remember this?
Oh my God. He's like, oh yeah, why don't we I forget how he phrased it, but it was like,
we need to boycott these people. That's what he said.
Oh my God. I do enjoy also when the guys were like, because his avatar on Twitter is like a Gundam or whatever, right? It's like some robot thing.
Yeah.
And whenever
I think it might be Fleekly, right? Is it? It's an anime, but I can't tell. It looks like it could be. It is from Fleekly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to me, the thing that it reminds me of like the Mark Andreessen avatars too, because he cycles through like Charlie Brown, because he's bald, like Charlie Brown in a mecha suit and whatever the fuck. And in general, I find that sort of thing to be a little bit pathetic when you're a really grown rich guy. But
or what if you're Elon Musk and you constantly post like AI footage of yourself? Like you constantly post AI versions of yourself where you look hotter.
It's really bad. I mean, but I feel like the bulk of AI, that like AI created Elon Musk imagery, makes him look like disgusting.
Yeah, he just looks so disgusting. He said that anime is neoliberal. I mean, there are definitely neoliberal animes out there, but the bulk of the best types of anime are not. So anyway, whatever. I don't really care about that much. I don't want to talk about anime. Noah's here. He doesn't do that. He's not a fucking virgin like us. Okay.
Well, I want to see this Asmon thing. Have you gotten to it yet?
Yeah, so I haven't gotten into it yet. I just wanted to like start off with some old school notes, because we did look like we had a very Asmongold in 2024 look in that 2018 video.
It is like, I was like, wow, my haircut budget must have been really short that month.
Yeah,
but
we were both broke boys back then,
and I didn't have although I didn't have his plushies. I wasn't that rich.
Yeah. So let's watch Asmongold, my plans moving forward.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch, and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try and structure this video into 2 parts, where the first part is going to be me talking about the Twitch suspension, second part is going to be talking about myself. And the first thing I want to start off with is something that I know it might sound a little bit insincere because of how ridiculous this is, but I really mean it, and if you listen to the whole video, I hope you can see why. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me, aside from the, oh, you should kill yourself or something like that, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed. And I want to talk about what the reason for that is, but I want to start off and just make sure that that's actually very clear.
You want to know something controversial that I'm going to say that everyone's going to get mad at me about? I don't think this is specifically because he got yelled at and he got banned. I do legitimately think, I mean, he's a very weird guy, okay? Asmongold is a very weird guy. I don't think he's being insincere when he says, like, I have changed my mind on this. We'll see. Only time will tell. And this doesn't mean that his mind has changed on, like, LGBTQ representation in video games or any number of different, like, right-wing things that he says on a regular basis. But on this hyper-specific note, he might actually have a different perspective. Only time will tell, but let's continue.
So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, you know, some just general, you know, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to, like, mince words or, like, try to, like, oh, I wasn't justifying or, you know, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about.
He admits it's a genocide? Yeah, that's the reason why I'm saying it's like a very weird opinion that he had that he said over and over again, while he also simultaneously does recognize what Israel is doing. It's just weird, man. It's incomprehensible. It's indecipherable.
I mean,
okay?
it is also like he went like more than overboard. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm sure that like the back channel stuff that he's been getting has been like really substantial. And yeah, I mean, I don't think any of this is insincere in the same way that like when you touch a hot stove, you don't insincerely scream "ow," even though you know maybe knew it was hot. You know, it's there's like this is a pretty easy to see consequence coming from this.
I think he's dialed in on Reddit a little like I think this is when you Reddit too hard and on main. Like that's what it is. When you go on Reddit and you see even like liberal subreddits that you don't even agree with because they're woke and gay being like, yeah, no, actually Muslims are barbaric savages that deserve death and destruction.
Well, then listen, the Mossad guys who've been posting on Reddit all day, they earn their keep on that one.
Dude, no, they own Reddit.
Oh
like,
yeah, I
for
mean,
sure.
And
I'm not doing it like Jews own Reddit type shit.
No,
like I'm saying specifically the American State Department and the Hasbara operations literally own every fucking like liberal and news adjacent, politics adjacent subreddit. They just straight up run it like a goddamn tight ass ship. Okay. I think.
I mean, I kind of agree. Just like r/Lebanon is like half like spy agencies from the West. Like I have to believe because the number of people in Lebanon or just like the people in Lebanon who post it doesn't make sense. It's not real. Like you would feel like Bashir Gemayel would be the rightful president of Lebanon in the imagination of the people who post on there. It's just like, yeah, that doesn't really track with the actual lived reality of that country.
Yeah, it don't matter. What? Look at 152.34 of your debate with Asman. He says the same thing on The Office when Michael debates Oscar about China. It's hilarious. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going.
Innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say.
The comments about you on his subreddit and his video are fucking despicable. Yeah, dog. They don't like me. What do you mean? Dog. Virtually every single person like that, if you're of one mind when you see like LGBTQ representation in media and you get upset about it, okay, outflanking Asmongold in many instances or having the same opinion that he does on a lot of these issues, you are not going to like me, okay? What do you want me to do? Like, there's nothing I can do about it. There's a lot of people that are not exactly fond of my worldview and the things that I actually represent. Hasan says the most unhinged stuff on. What the fuck? Why is this the first comment? Bro, what? Okay, that's weird, dog. He has a fucking apology video for 20 minutes and the first comment is Hasan with a double S. Says the most unhinged stuff on Twitch, but never gets banned. First of all, I have been banned.
That's good, man.
I have been banned. I've been banned more times than Asmongold. The fuck are you talking about? I got banned for saying racial slurs. Cracker was the racial slur that I said, and I got banned for it. Did you know that?
I think I did, actually. Of course I did, yeah.
So it's so funny. And when it was his birthday, the whole Twitch staff made a video congratulating him. It just shows the bias. You can't have an opinion different than them, otherwise you'll be banned. Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 comments vile. Third comment pretty good.
Yeah.
Third comment was a clean the room stream would be the most viewed thing of all time.
I mean, that is true. I mean, he has done that before, I think.
And
well, yeah.
I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really. But when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism. And I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in like kind of positions below you as like, you know, like gay people, women, people with disabilities, anything like that, I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort. And I feel like almost, I've rewatched the clip, right, or a number of the clips, and it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can easily say that we're against religious extremism, and I am. But whenever I categorize everybody in the area as this, like, group, then I'm the
Bill Maher
asshole,
comparison really
and
is
I
kind of
was the
apt.
asshole.
Because like he's basically saying like I didn't do the Bill Maher exception.
Yeah,
I didn't say
I think that's what it is.
religious extremists.
No, I think that is literally the problem. He Reddited too hard, and I think he went Reddit on main, and people were like, "What the fuck?" Like,
oh
what?
wow,
Yeah, what are you doing?
oh that Reddit post looks not good.
Yeah, we'll look at that in a second. And the reality of the matter is there's like a permissible, I always talk about permissible bigotry. There's a level of permissible bigotry, especially when it comes to Muslims, especially when it comes to Arabs, that you can get away with. Okay? The problem, however, is if you go beyond that, people are going to be like, ugh, even people who agree with you are going to be like, ugh, that's a bridge too far. And I think that's the mistake that he made. He like repeated Reddit stuff, and Reddit is insane about this kind of thing. And Bill Maher, on the other hand, never takes it to that degree where he doesn't like openly say these are all barbaric
Bill Maher comes
monsters.
at it from like not just like Reddit atheism, but like, you know, he's the guy who made like Religulous like 20 years ago or whatever. Like he's been beating this fucking,
he loves Israel.
He's been beating this damn drum for many, 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 many years. And so he kind of has, I think, just a more refined sense from years of practice on Club Random, you know, years with the blade. He knows how to wield it.
Yeah. I think it's also, I mean, a lot of the space that those guys occupy, like the new atheists that they occupy, is basically just like giving a permission structure to liberals to also be like gross, disgusting monstrous pieces of shit about Muslims in general. It's a way to like intellectualize bigotry. Yes, that's what it is. There's no other way to look at it.
You're just finding like a scaffolding on which to hang hang your personal.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
hang-ups.
no, you don't understand. Like, I'm not a neocon, but I also think that
I'm not a neocon. I just like agreed with everything David Frum said in this like despicable tweet or Atlantic article.
Yeah, exactly. It's it happens. There's like a woke way of repackaging like similar antiquated, similar stereotypes. Liberals do this for black people, black men specifically, on a regular basis. There are even like black authors that play a role in this as well, giving a permission structure for liberals to say black men are all homophobic. They got to clean out their, they got to clean their community of queer phobia and the misogyny. And it's like, usually that is done in a way to basically make liberals also fucking feel, specifically white liberals, also feel that they have the opportunity to say certain things about black men, calling them, violent or bigoted.
The Obama thing this week was especially where, I mean, Felix, we'll probably say more about it later, but like he went off on it on Twitter correctly.
Yeah, Obongler.
Yeah, saying that like, because Obama's like, black men need to, you need to get over your misogyny. And it's like, black men are like the most reliable group of men to vote for Democratic candidates across the board.
Yeah,
like,
it's funny because like the change for younger black men is still like the swing for younger black men is still marginal in comparison to like the same exact demographic with the same exact educational attainment for white men and Hispanic men as well. Like black men are the smallest group in that entire pile, and yet they're still getting this fucking hyper focus on them. And I think it's like a very weird, very strange thing to do.
Edinger Mentum had a really good point about how like Stacey Abrams was the one who really perfected that, because she spent like the last 2 months of her shitty campaign talking about how like, you know, like, oh, I'm not polling great with black men. And then it turned out that, you know, on election day, she was polling like she did fine with them. And so she'd spent like all this time and energy whining about something from the fucking internet rather than, you know, doing her job.
Yeah. And it's the reason why I brought up the you know, permission structure that liberals look for in terms of like saying similar things is because this is the exact same shit when it comes to Islamophobia. Liberals don't want to say Muslims are barbaric, savage apes that are constantly looking to like rape non-Muslims or whatever, in the same way that like a Groyper or a Nazi or a neocon might want to say, or, you know, your average Israel defender on Twitter. But they look for a way to intellectualize that exact same sentiment, right? Didn't you literally say that about Tibetans? No. What? Your chat is acting like Hamas isn't a religious extremist group. You can criticize their extremism and Israel's actions. Didn't you literally say that about Tibetans? No, I did not. You're hallucinating this, I think. Does he see himself? What? Okay. We're not going to talk about Obama.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. We'll talk about Obama later. So, where was I? What was I talking about?
We were talking about how people get permissions.
Oh, yeah.
Like
So,
in general, there's like a sort of like acceptable bigotry.
So there's exactly.
Asmon's problem is
he
that
went above.
Yeah.
And you cannot cross that boundary, because when you do, even people who would otherwise agree with you kind of feel weird about their support for it. And I think that was a major mistake for Asmongold, that he crossed that boundary. If he had kept it to like some sort of like intellectualized argument, then that would have been one thing, right? You just can't say the quiet part out loud. His fan base might have liked it, but obviously there was going to be an understandable sea of pressure from outside forces. Let's take a look at the rest of the statements.
I had a lot of you guys tell me that. And it's taken me, this is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for like 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, I don't really even know what the word is for it. Just like the most mean-spirited, rude, like nasty, like just callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my
sorry, that's like the funniest thing to say with like that.
I mean,
well, no,
good
just like no, but it's so
self-awareness.
funny to say that like in that room.
I know, but it's a decent amount of self-awareness, I think.
Friends
I
have
like
told
it.
me this.
I don't disagree with
maybe
the sentiment. It's just the comedy of it is like
I know,
a little
my
much.
tolerance for seeing this
it's like
is so much worse than yours.
I want to like look past it, but I kind of can't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, it's like I know what like the average Twitch watcher's room looks like. I know what like other Twitch streamers' rooms look like. So for me,
he's doing representation.
When I see this, when I see a man saying these things, I'm like, oh, that's growth. Like that's legit. I don't like notice the discarded cans that are, or the discarded, you know, styrofoam cups that are in the corner here, because like I'm so fucking used to it.
Just eyes glaze
it's
over.
like this is the norm in this corner of the internet.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at this and thinking like I would love to see my mom. I would like to do a stream with like my mom reacting to seeing this room.
Oh God.
My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some
Oh, Asmon's dad is a fan of mine, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. And apparently they like duke it out all the time on politics. So that's like an interesting dynamic.
Accountability for that.
Rock on.
And thank God. I look back.
Also, I'm sorry. this is, and this Space Ace is correct. This is exactly how Karl Marx lived. We know this because there are a couple really big
spying
agencies were in utter shock at the filth that he lived in.
The thing to remember is that, like, one, it was the 1800s.
Okay,
like pasteurization was like, you know, like a concept then, like they were still working on. And the other thing is that, you know, he was a social dude. Like he went, like, that was always the, you know, part of why I gave him a pass on that was that, like, he was having like drinking parties and carousing with other people and what have you. And so, like, yeah, he lived like that, but it's because he was out doing stuff, not like, you know, like he wasn't
was piping, he was fucking. Yeah, him and
Jenny.
Him and Engels.
Oh, him and Engels out on the town.
They were fucking each other. They were fucking and sucking, dude.
Yeah, man, it was like rounders every night.
Yeah.
At some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years. And I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible. And I think it's, looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and, you know, just getting hyper fixated, this is like your entire life, you lose a perspective on reality. And you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before when I was making comments like this. And I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, oh, go kill yourself. I hate you. Everything like this.
Yeah. When was it when Lil Bear, you gotta find this clip. The first time I said Asmon's not gonna like doing political commentary streaming, because it wasn't the first time I ever said it was during the Johnny Depp stuff, but that wasn't when he fully became a political commentary streamer. He started doing political commentary streaming like this past year, and I said, I think it was when Trump got shot. It could have been when Trump got shot, but I was like, he is not going to enjoy this at all. This is not for, you have to have either full-blown sociopathic tendencies or at least like genuinely believe the cause that you are advocating for to stick it out for this long, or just have like nothing else going on. And for Asmongold, he has something else going on. Like he could just fucking play WoW and just I don't know, play video games and talk about like some of the cultural stuff in video games from a right-wing culture war perspective. But like the moment that he starts like leaning in to like straightforward political commentary, watching like a RFK speech or something and calling him based or whatever, that's when you have fully dropped yourself into a treacherous space, a very awful space. He likes it. You are wrong. I feel like he's literally saying I've become a psychopathic version of myself that I do not like for the past 4 minutes. I feel maybe I'm wrong, but you know, you're telling him to shut up and dribble, dog.
Yes. I mean, yeah,
kind of.
I mean, you know, but it's also like, it's because when he stopped dribbling, he really fucked himself. Like, it
was during the campus protest when he started doing politics more. It could be that too. And this is the shit that his viewers care about, though. Gamers are degenerate and hateful. No, that's not true.
No.
There are definitely gamers who do care about that, and they've always existed. Gamergate happened, if you remember. But are we hearing the same thing? I mean, am I wrong? Isn't that what he's saying? He said like he became like this.
I mean, I think I'm curious to see, because he's got a lot of minutes left in this apology, so I am curious to see like if part of what he's going to say with this is, you know, I'm going to have like a different outlook on this stuff going on. I'm going to step back. Like I am curious, you know, the thing's called my plans moving forward. So I am curious, like, what is his takeaway from having now experienced like all of this vitriol going his way or whatever.
By the way, this is not correct. He does not have a lot of yes men around him. I know the people around him I literally openly said, have a conversation before saying stuff like this. Have a conversation with Wake, or have a conversation with Tips, who is literally a Syrian Muslim refugee that, you know, was born in America and grew up as a Muslim in the United States of America in a post 9/11 world. Like,
was he the one who posted something on Twitter?
That's his that's his like the co-owner of his organization. That's his like business partner. And yes, we read the Twitter post from him. So, I think the idea that he has a lot of yes men around him is actually unironically wrong. I think that he just doesn't have I don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, but what I can tell is, like, I don't think he just has anyone around him. Or I mean, like, I think he just.
The conversation earlier was on the right page about how it's just like he's, you know, it's like inhaling Reddit and then responding to what you see on the, you know, like not thinking, responding very emotionally, etc.
Yeah, I think,
and just like, you know, Freudian slip after Freudian slip, where you just say what you actually mean that other people would know to filter.
Yeah. So that's what I think. Overall, I always look at a situation like this and think to myself, like, what do you stand to gain from apologizing versus what do you, especially if you have such a fucking primed right-wing audience?
Oh my God.
You don't stand to gain anything from apologizing, really. You stand to gain, you stand to benefit from doubling down and just like making,
especially in today's environment, double down, ignore, move on, switch to the next thing. Every incentive is there. I mean, it's, if anything, it's okay.
You are more biased and extremist than Asmon in terms of political views, though.
You are biased. You are biased.
I am biased.
You are biased.
And also more extremist than Asmon in terms of political views. He's right. Because I believe in things like what? Fucking universal healthcare?
Yeah, listen, man. Free healthcare or like barbecuing people in the Middle East alive. You decide which is extreme.
It's like, hey, can we not give $7 gazillion to Israel so that they can fucking keep lighting the entire region on fire and instead use it to fix the fucking potholes here? Which, by the way, me and Asmongold probably are in agreement on that, for the record. You know. Let's continue.
Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that were fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do. I've always been a, you know, I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist. And even as a young kid, I was raised Roman Catholic and I was always very defiant towards it. And I've always
when he said Islamic, he's not saying like he's trying. He means well.
Said a negative
he's
opinion
trying to be
of religion,
fucking weird.
And I've
and
also had a negative opinion of religious cultures. And I think that really, I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created for myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chose to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people like fans of mine, like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, you know, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, you know, I'm willing to talk to you, and like, you know, like let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages, and these are people that messaged me in like 2016, 2017, 2018, like, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me. And I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do. And I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism. And I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think it is. And I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a fucking dick. And it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I had planned on streaming and everything.
Apology.
And,
I mean, he's doing that thing
text
where he's slicing it so that it's about the religious extremists or not. But like he talked about like fans messaging him, people who had been streamers, people watching his stream for like 8 years ago, who are now like, why would you say this? Why would you do that, etc. And I mean, it's, you know, like I'm like I said, I'm curious to see where he goes.
I'm not surprised by this, but I wonder if, like, for the uninitiated, they might be surprised by it. But also beyond that, I do think that there will be still a shit ton of people who will, of course, understandably say, oh, he's doing this to save face, or understandably say, oh, he's just like, he's not being sincere, or understandably say, I still don't accept it because what he said was fucking unconscionable. I've seen, like, you know, children in plastic bags, like their destroyed bodies, their mutilated bodies being shoved into plastic bags with their parents. Like, when you see that every fucking day for the past 12 months, like, it changes your perception a little bit when you hear someone reiterate the same exact fucking indifference that people have to that kind of death and destruction, or even, dare I say, champion it. You know, it's gonna happen no matter what. The problem that a lot of people, I think, don't recognize, like, when, you know, people that do commentary or people that are influencers don't understand, is that, like, that's gonna happen. You just have to stay true to your perspective regardless. You have to be unshakable and unflinching in your framework. If you think that you fucked up, it's always good to try to understand and empathize with why people are yelling at you in that moment, and then and maybe try to figure out, like, what you may have done wrong. And I think he's doing that here. So we'll see. Once again, only time will tell. Okay? Only time will tell.
Yep.
But this is it's interesting because, like, his audience has he's an iDubbbz phenomena here. Like, when iDubbbz came out and apologized, that was, like, very heartfelt. Took years for him to get to this point, but ultimately, I think his audience is not going to respond to this kindly. They will not.
Is his audience that right wing now?
What?
Is, like, his audience that right wing now? Because
I
just
dude,
know
his subreddit is so bad, bro. His subreddit, like, sometimes he'll be like, sometimes when I go on Reddit on my phone, which is a big mistake, never do it. It'll be like, you might be interested in this, and then it'll be like a Asmongold post, like a Asmongold subreddit post, and I'll look at the comments and be like, I wonder what they're saying. And there are just, like, straight up 4chan, 8chan takes in there, like, fucking mainlining it.
You know what I blame? I blame Blizzard. They need more content. Get this man back to wowing.
Yeah, that's what they. This is Blizzard's fault.
This is only Blizzard's fault. It's not
but yeah, if you want to understand what his community is like, look at this. The first comment,
exactly.
you know, Hasan says the most unhinged stuff on Twitch, but he never gets mad. And when it was his birthday, the whole Twitch staff made a video congratulating him. It shows the bias. You can't have a pity different from them, otherwise you'll be bad. Blah, blah, blah. You were not wrong. I understand what you meant. Religious extremism should not be supported. Damn, they treated Asmon like the second coming of Diddy on Twitter. We got Asmon planning to clean his room for GTA 6. Hasan interviewed an actual Houthi pirate and praised them. No bad. Like, 9 months ago, I interviewed a Yemeni teenager who his entire life has only known being the victim of a genocide. Okay? And people are still talking about it. BBC also interviewed him. New York Times reporters reached out to me at the time to get access to this person. Okay? Like, clearly, people in the media, journalists, well-decorated and celebrated journalists, investigative reporters like Jeremy Scahill and the like, thought that that interview was not only worthwhile, but very good. Having said that, beyond that, there is obviously some, there is a journalistic purpose to having an interview such as that one. You might consider it a puff piece. You might consider it to be bad, but it is a humanizing conversation to have with someone who has only been a victim of genocide, even if you do not agree with their worldview. Okay. And in that conversation, I asked them if he was a Houthi, if he was a part of the Ansar Allah movement. He said no. There was no reason for me to assume otherwise. I asked him about Jewish people and if he was shocked when he found out that, you know, there were anti-Zionists in the United States of America who were Jewish, who were leading the anti-Zionism movement. Doesn't really matter for a lot of people because they are, once again, running on the relentless fucking fumes and looking at, like, whatever this 18-year-old or 19-year-old is posting on Twitter to be like, see, he wants everyone to be dead. Like he wants everybody killed. This is one of the least influential, least powerful people on the planet. It's one of the poorest places on the planet. You are yelling about what a 19-year-old is posting when Israel
also, like,
defenders.
Sorry, you interviewed him. Like half the internet was like talking about how they wanted to fuck it. Like that was it was like such that was opposite day for me.
Yeah, it's still crazy. It's still crazy to me that people still talk about that and like freak out when you have people who are literally directly, okay? Hello? No, wrong address. Anyway. So it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy to fucking, it's crazy to fucking come in here and still yell about that. It's crazy to come in here and still yell about that while you are looking at people saying so much worse shit on a regular basis, like the fact that at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. Okay. And that if you no longer want to see those ads, you're going to have to subscribe, which you can do for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime. That's right. Anyway, no, the actual thing that I was going to say is that like, there are people that post unhinged shit about like death and destruction. Like people saying that they want to fucking melt like the Irish peacekeepers with fucking napalm and then bomb them again. And those people are in actual positions of fucking power. Okay. Interviewing those people or offering them softball interviews is not considered to be unkind or unconscionable, but a victim of a genocide, a survivor of a genocide in fucking Yemen who has no power whatsoever.
Also, there is like a degree to where it's like, yeah, you have to look at somebody's like position in the world before you're going to decide, you know, to me, it feels like so crazy. And it reminds me of like the exact same kinds of like dehumanizing language that people used in like the 60s or 70s to talk about, let's say, like Vietnamese communists.
Yeah, he also like posts stuff like this, which is pretty funny because like I don't really care. Like, I don't really care to interview him or anything like that, but it is pretty funny that he just like keeps repeating like, no, I don't hate Jews. Like, anyway, but again, they're just like, nah, dude, he's brown, he's got a gun, he's fucking Houthi, and he wants to kill all Jews. He's just doing PR. Dog, he's literally in Yemen. Why would he? The Ansar Allah movement's actual fucking banner literally says "curse the Jews" in it. Why would anybody shelter? Why would anybody from fucking Yemen shelter their anti-Semitic opinions if they had it? Anyway, let's continue.
Text message from one of my mods. They said, "Oh, I heard about the suspension. I'm sorry." And I was like, I remember I was like driving, and like, you know, you'd think that like your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt like finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop, just like get out of my own head. And I spent a long time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad. But I've categorized a lot of people in that way that was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much, I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. And so, actually, I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it.
that water?
No, it's pretty dry.
So, man.
No,
Anyway,
it's probably
that was
not.
like the worst. That was like, do you remember the Marco Rubio water? Do you remember that? He like he delivered the response to the State of the Union. Like, this is like, gotta like over 10 years ago. And like in the middle of it, he's like in the middle of, you know, he's like delivering his, like just in the middle, like, and everybody, it was, you know, because this was
my
like
man was thirsty.
because this was like a more innocent time. That became the news cycle. That was a news cycle. That's what used to pass for a news cycle.
Yeah, it's times have changed. Let's continue.
So the second part about this is that I want to talk a little bit about like my life, my personal life, etc., and kind of some of the points that I think that I've kind of gone through to get here. So the main thing is that for the past, like, I would say like 10 years or so, if you look at my life like this, I would have said 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago, streaming was like this, right? YouTube was like this. And now I would say that my life and streaming are basically the exact same size. And what I mean by that is that streaming is my entire life. Doing this is my entire existence. And I think that the process of that has been extremely unhealthy for me. And I
take a break. Us chuds will be here waiting for you to make streaming great again. Don't worry. I'll react to DEI equals die gaming video first day back to stream. Thank God. I hope this side of you never change. All right. I'll look at what his statement on Reddit was. Okay. But
I
let's
think that
continue.
what it's done is that it's allowed me to become such a one-dimensional person that
Thank God he's going to keep doing the DEI stuff, though, because I was a little worried. That's my favorite content.
He's pro DEI, right?
Yeah. He wants.
Does he do those videos about the Tomb Raider chin?
What?
You know, that's the one I'm the new one.
Oh yeah, Tomb
about
Raider
how they made
is.
Tomb Raider face
They made her mask.
Yeah.
I'm not even
anyway,
a
let's
person
continue.
anymore. It's like I'm in Dark Souls, I'm going hollow or something. And I think about like all of the, you know, like I made a list of all of the things that I'm not doing in my life that I should be doing. And I was writing it down and I'm like, you know, fucking like, I'm just going and going. I'm like, oh my God, I think it'd be shorter if I transcribed the Bible. Like, this is insane. Like, like, whenever I have everything written down line for line, it's like, oh my God, I'm ruining my life. I've been existing and I want to, at a certain point, actually try to live my life. And I don't think that I've been doing that. And so what am I going to do? How am I going to do that differently? And what does that mean for my stream, etc.? I think that I'm going to cut down a little bit on streaming quite as much. And I think I'm also going to cut down. This is going to sound like, I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2016, and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane. And it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction, which is why I think that like getting suspended in this, I hope that it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I don't know whether that's going to be true, but I'm going to try to do things differently.
Is it a permanent
make
ban?
sure to live up to that.
No. Twitch bans people for like, I mean, sometimes they permanently ban people, but
Yeah, I know, but I know that
usually
that's
no,
very
it's
unusual.
for 14 days. It's for
Okay.
14 days.
Like an enforced break.
Yeah.
Reality. And so what are those things that I'm going to be doing differently? The first thing is that I think I'm going to try. I've been very much trying to like maintain a consistent schedule with my stream, and I will continue to do that. I want to get up and go to bed at relatively the same time. I want to live a normal life, and also I want to spend maybe a little bit less time streaming, and I want to spend more time creating my own videos and doing my own things and spending time on things that I really enjoy, and basically just like expanding my existence as a person. I think that ever since I started like OTK and I got involved with that, and then we had like other Starforge and like Mad Mushroom and Mythic and everything, like honestly, it's been too much for me to handle. It's been completely too much for me to handle, and I've I've been losing my mind dealing with it, and I try to hide it the best I can because, you know, I try to do the best, right? I try to do my best. I you know, it doesn't matter how hard it gets, you just keep going, it doesn't matter. And eventually it does matter. And I think that I've negatively affected a lot of them. And I also don't want to talk about that just in the context of just like this recent controversy. I want to talk about this in the context of the last 2 years. I think that I haven't really been able to fulfill my responsibilities as a leader in a lot of cases to them. And I think that I've let a lot of people down. And
Muslim revert arc incoming. Yeah, he's gonna say the Shahada.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna do he's going to the Hajj, dude. He's going to visit the Kaaba, and he's reverting to Islam. Okay, brother Asmon, he will see Jannah.
There have been things that I've done that are positive as well, but I think that one thing this thing has taught me is
from Asmongold to Asmongold. Yeah.
this whole situation has taught me, it's made me realize, is that I need to get myself in check. I need to get my mind under control. I need to, like, just get my life I need to fix my fucking life. Like,
he says this on his Reddit
it's insane.
post too.
Like, I think about it and it's
he
just,
like talks
it's
about
in
living with
shambles.
his mom and all that shit.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you right now, I called this. I did. It's just you dove into like waters that are treacherous, and it got too hot. You know, that's just how it is.
Everything about my life is basically fucked. And I'm going to take a step back from all of that. I'm going to step away from my leadership position and OTK and Starforge and everything. I want to, and they're fine with that. They respect that, and
yeah,
I want to do this. And I want to do this not only for them, but mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone.
He really has two
and
paths.
I want to apologize
Convert
to all
to
you guys,
Islam
my
or
viewers.
like the Jordan Peterson thing.
What is this? Oh, you found it? All I could find was you sort of warning him that at the end of the convo you had on the student protest, saying that there is a more cost to covering this stuff. I mean, yeah, there's definitely more of that. There's definitely more of a price than just people getting mad at you, but it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
But all right, well, I gotta go pee, but no, that's this isn't it. There's a point where I can't recall exactly where it was, but there was a point where I just straight up said, it wasn't when I was talking to him, but I said that this is a space that is going to that is going to hurt your fucking mental health no matter what. It wasn't a conversation, it was a comment that I made. Yeah. I said it to chat. I was like, he's not going to like it. This is not something that I remember it being a long time ago. It might have been during the Johnny Depp trial stuff. I think it could be that, or I think it could be any number of different moments, but I don't know what it was. Trump shooting aftermath, potentially. Not that it matters, okay? The point is, okay, when you enter this field with like very obvious like political perspective, you automatically are going to have people not be charitable to you, and sometimes you're gonna say things that that don't deserve any charitability anyway. And he did say something that like went above and beyond. And when you do that, it is going to inevitably start eating away at your consciousness. I see myself as someone who always tries to balance themselves out by like hanging out with normal people, going outside, a practice that some of my haters have considered brown facing. Did you see that one?
What?
This was really funny.
What? Because you get like a tan, and that means you're doing brown face
dude,
by
look
being
at
outside.
look at. If you want to understand the mentality of like,
I think
freaks,
Hasan has been trying to make himself browner for his audience, performing brown face through lighting or filters. Look at him before. Yo, this is the like every accusation is a confession. You saw that STAVVYBABY thing? How like he said like somebody recently like referred to him as like, oh, this white professor, and then he replies, I'm not white. I'm not white. And then fucking like immediately somebody pulls my like, you know, like a few months ago he was happy to call himself white. Like this is that's crazy.
Yeah.
Turkish people are always brown to me. I'll let you know. You'll always have your back on that.
I say I'm white. I consider myself to be white. And I think part of that is because like as a socio-political construct, like growing up in Turkey as a Turkish man, there was no like I was not a part of like an out group, you know what I mean?
Also, like America's like one of the countries where like race is like so publicly constructed along the color line. You know, like it's a pretty like it's which is why people are going insane, as evidenced by.
But this is but this is like pretty funny that this guy basically was just like, I don't know what it looks like when someone goes outside. Like only this is like an admission. You know. Anyway, it also comes with the like I was talking about it earlier, but like it also comes with this like weird. Only white people think this way. It comes with this like weird attitude that you think like, you know, being perceived as brown is going to give you any benefit whatsoever in the United States of America. Okay, it does not. Okay, it is the exact opposite. But you know, that's besides the point.
That I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now. And I don't even think that I've been putting in half the effort that I should be in the way that I should be. And I'm sorry. And so my plan is to, when I get unbanned, I'll keep streaming regularly, right? And I want to focus more on trying to do things that are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people. Because I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Like let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it's about a focus, and it's about it's about a tone. I listen to my tone in the clip, and I just sound like such a piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person, and it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just mean. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And I've spent a long time growing up. The time I did, I was an r/atheism enjoyer. I have a very negative opinion of a lot of religions. I've had the experience firsthand of the negative effects of Christianity and you know, the way that I view that. And I've always read a lot of very bad things about Islam. And I've made a lot of criticisms.
Read a lot of very bad things.
I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've heard a lot about it, and I've been like watching things about it, and I've been like hearing people telling me this is the way it is, but I've never seen it. And I actually think that after all this, I think towards the end of next year, I think I'd like to visit one.
I'm happy to call that shot.
Wait, he is
Middle East and see it for myself.
He's gonna.
I want to.
Bro, he's reverting, dude. Shia Islam, though. Okay, not. I'm Sunni.
Yeah, no.
As a Sunni, I'm saying this. Okay.
You gotta buck the winning team, dog. Go
Shia. You gotta go Shia. Okay. You gotta go Shia Islam. Yeah. It's just like that's the way. That's the method.
From a historical perspective, right? I would love to go to Istanbul in Turkey.
Oh, he's getting a hair transplant.
Yo!
Inshallah, brother.
Oh man, he's gonna be. Dude, when I went to Istanbul, I love going. Istanbul's like my favorite place. When I went there last time,
I can't go, but but hey, listen, I tell everybody if you definitely go visit.
Well,
it's
no,
awesome.
I'm already visualizing it with the hair with the little pricks to re-stimulate those follicles. Like
he's doing Turkish. He's gonna go Turkish hairlines.
Oh, he's gonna go to hammam. He's gonna get the whole thing.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Asmongold.
Asmongold, Lion of WoW.
no ulterior motive there at all. But
he's held his head. All he is, he's doing it.
I'd love to visit places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, any of the other places. I mean, the truth is that, and this is the worst thing about what I said, some of the places.
Yeah, bro's gonna go to Saudi Arabia and be like, I was right, actually.
Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah,
everything I said about Islam.
Well, yeah, he goes to Dubai and he sees like 50 million slaves imported from Southeast Asia.
They have slavery. What is happening? Oh, there's other places you can go to, man.
Yeah, there's go to Cairo maybe. I mean, also not such a happy place, but like lots of Muslim people who live there who are not Wahhabist.
Yeah, dude, he's gonna. Oh my God, he's gonna revert to Islam, and then he's gonna have to wash himself 5 times a day, dude. This is literally it's the perfect religion.
Is gonna go very simple. He's gonna have
It's the perfect religion for him.
It's such a good arc for him.
It's the perfect religion for him.
I think I'm with this.
Oh, Osman Alton.
Places I would want to visit, I might not be able to because of the way that they're just the internal strife, the actual literal wars that are going on, people being literally killed there, and I might not be able to do that. But I want to do it, and I want to see it for myself.
If Michael Rappaport can make it to Israel, you can definitely go to the Middle East.
Tell me. And I think that
Michael Rappaport can make it to Israel. He can go to the Middle East. He just can't go to certain parts of the Middle East. He can't
go to any other country.
Yeah. I would love to go visit the West Bank, or I would love to one day be able to go to Gaza. I just don't think that I will be able to do that anytime soon, nor will I be able to go there and let's just say I saw what happened to another Turkish American that did go to the West Bank, and then I saw how America handled that situation after she got assassinated. Kind of puts into perspective what that looks like when so many Zionists were coming in here and be like, come to Israel, you will see.
I mean, it's crazy because the best protection that you can have in visiting the West Bank is to be like me and be Jewish, and so, it's true. It is not as easy or especially these days necessarily as safe a thing. No, it's bad.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about Aisha Nur Ezgi.
When I do, I end up being a fool, and I want to see it. I want to see it for myself, and I want to experience it, and I want to live my life. And I'm going to try to I don't know, clean up part of my house. I'm going to try to do this, and I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance. And I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that I've done.
They also have indulgences,
and for letting my life get this out of control. And I don't need to get out of jail free card.
Meaning more just
I need to do that for myself.
I mean, if I'm one of his fans
for my
who
own
watches this,
as well.
and I'm not somebody who's bought in on all the atheism stuff, but I was there because I wanted to see him do Blackwing Lair or whatever in WoW.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't granted, I'm fundamentally very skeptical of people changing their stripes and stuff in this way. It's a hard public thing, and the people who do it successfully are usually they're not initially very public about it. It's a thing that they become public about after they've done work in a private capacity or whatever, or, learning or whatever.
But it doesn't even matter. Even if you do the work privately behind closed doors, and then the moment that you come out openly, people still, there's going to be plenty of people who who will never look at you the same. They will be like, no, I remember all the shit that you said. Fuck you. And there's going to be a shit ton more people in your fan base that are going to be like, fuck you. You went woke. They transed you. They made you trans. They made you gender. And you just gotta push through it. Because I do think that genuinely, when you are honest with yourself and when you actually go through this change, okay, when you go through this change internally and you have this moral compass that you follow, you will literally be a happier person. You will be a liberated person. You will feel more free.
And that's what he's describing. To be fair, that is what he's describing here. To I think that what he is saying aspirationally is the thing that this was a wake up call. I should focus and do on other stuff and focus on learning and what have you. as opposed to being like a guy who, you know, like yammers without thinking necessarily.
Yeah. Do you think he will genuinely change his mindset? Only time will tell. Because the way I see it is if you are very susceptible to the way the winds blow within your fan base, and they are overwhelmingly yelling at you to go in a certain direction, there is a high likelihood that you will want to go back to the comfortable territory, the comfortable waters of like being admired by your fans, rather than go through the initial treacherous waters of being hated by all of those people, because no one is going to be accepting. That's the reality. When you slant yourself in this right-wing fashion, when you're cutting content in this like very obviously right-wing culture war, when you're feeding into this right-wing culture war narrative, and you cultivate a fan base like this, when you find yourself in an honest moment and say, oh, this is not me. I don't like where I am. I don't like where I am. I don't like the way that I present myself online. I don't like the way that my mentality is shifted. And you come out and you say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I'm going to, I'm going to be different. Okay. I'm going to present myself in a different way. I'm going to try to learn more. Like, I fucked up. I acknowledge it. People that are supposed to be receptive to that are not going to, because they remember, one, this switch is too fast. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, people are not going to be receptive to that because they remember what you said last week or the week prior or for the months leading up to this. So it's not exactly like a warm, welcoming space.
I mean, I will say though, is like a kind of like, there's a certain amount of aspiration in this, as opposed to like recognizing what the reality is, which is much closer to what you're describing. But I do think that, part of one of the things about the passage of time, and if somebody sticks to good behavior and, let's say hypothetically that he absorbs a lesson from all this, then like, it's not real. The question sort of ceases to be, or like the issue ceases to be like, oh, are people going to forgive him? Are they going to, and it'll be more instead like, will the things that he did in the past be the things that define him in the future, broadly? Like, just like when the name comes up, what is the first thing that people think of? Is it going to be guy who has gamer moments, or is it going to be guy who has like 80,000 concurrents because he cleared WoW or whatever, and it's cleared a WoW raid quickly?
Yeah. Like I said though, it is not a. How can you let Noah, a Mets fan, on the stream? Now this is suspension worthy. Unbelievable, says Slasher.
Slasher?
He's a
Yankees fan.
I assume, yeah, he's from New York.
Well, that's
if
tough.
if he has that degree of hatred and
I'll
animosity.
see you in the World Series, pal.
Tell Noah I read the Philip Short Mao book because of the new season of Blowback in his conversation on the War Nerd.
It's a very good book.
All I'm gonna say is this, okay? He has everything to gain from continuing and not doing a course correction, like changing his trajectory, and nothing to benefit from apologizing and saying that she's like reflecting on it. He's reflecting on his past behavior. And the path ahead of him is going to be awful for the most part because of all the shit that he's done over the course of the past couple of years. All the things that he said.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not just this thing. It's like there's an accumulative effect.
So, I will always be open-minded to people who say that they are going to change, that they're going to alter the way that they view the world and develop empathy. I'll always be understanding. Only time will tell. We will not know. Okay? That's it. That's my take on it. Having said that, however, apparently he said that he was going to keep doing the woke DEI content.
That's not dehumanizing at all.
Yeah. As a Muslim, I hate this ban. I completely disagree with his points last night, but to ban him and not ban people with the exact same opinions just about the other side will just radicalize and create more hate. This is my favorite type of person online who's just like,
Have you ever considered that we treat both sides?
Yeah. Dude apologized harder than the doctor suspect. I don't even know what he did. 20 minutes in one shot. Sounds like a legit apology video to me. There has never been a war in the history of the world that is.
Oh, I love that. No. The best part about that comment is the guy's handle. Sig P229. Yeah. Okay, gun nut.
There's never been a war in the history of the world that has not resulted in innocents being harmed. That is a straight up fact.
Yeah, my YouTube handle is literally a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gun guy. I'm sure you believe it.
Yeah.
Bro got canceled in cleaning his room. Yep. Bro, if you made a travel channel, it would be effing epic. The way you think, the way you describe things, the feelings you have is what made us become a family and love you, man. Honestly, travel, I would you know what? Not from the same perspective as this guy, but I do agree a travel stream with him would be pretty cool. I'd be interested.
I think so. I think like any interaction that he has with the outside world is funny. Like, I think in general,
he's clearly on some level conscious of that, which is part of, what he's like saying in this video or whatever is like, I recognize, like, even if it's superficial in this moment or if it's just emotional in this moment because he's responding to all the shit going on, but he's like clearly, conscious of how like, like I do live with my mom and the room is a mess and we need to fix this stuff, etc. Which I'm at, before, like, I know he like incorporated as part of like the narrative of his character on the internet or whatever. It was like part of not kayfabe, but like it was part of his shtick.
He loses his dad. His mom actually passed away.
I'm sorry.
But he was like very.
I'm going by the Reddit post that he said. Sorry, single man living in his mother's house.
Yeah, no. He was very like. He was very close with his mom, and that was like very traumatic for him. Okay, so. He wrote a post 35 minutes ago, I guess, or now an hour ago. Why apologize? Because it was R-worded to use Palestinians interchangeably with religious fanatics and terrorists. Obviously, not all people in Palestine are trash. It's really not that complicated. Also, it wasn't just that issue. Don't let yourself become ideologically captured by a worldview to the point where it makes you so unreasonable that you turn into what you're fighting against. No one wins when I stand behind a statement that's a false or a mischaracterization. My fucking dad, HasanAbi head, it's true. That literally is true. Told me over a year ago I was getting too harsh on my stream and I ignored him. Same with a lot of real life friends. I think I've just been increasingly more hostile and negative, and that brings a bad vibe to the stream. A good comparison, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero playthrough versus Wulong playthrough. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I want more Sparking Zero playthroughs, and I never want to play Wulong again. Wait, what?
I have no idea.
Wulong was amazing. What the fuck? Okay, that's the worst take I've heard from him this week, dude. What the fuck? Hey, yo. That's okay. Oh, Wulong, not Wukong. Oh.
What's Wulong?
I don't know. I thought he was talking about Asmon has tasted the politics viewer counts. He will never be the same. Yeah, I don't think he understands that he stepped foot into a very treacherous field, though.
There you go.
There it is.
There she is.
There it is. Thank you, Lil Bear. Lil Bear did it. The chronicler. A field that will not be kind to him. So, like, currently, gamers watching him do political commentary will go the distance, but I don't know if he'll want to continue it. Kinder than it is to you, lol. Yeah, but all I'm going to say is this area, this space that I exist in is very... Oh, it's Wukong, but L instead of W to signal he disliked it. Yeah, notice how this is from when I was covering the RNC and I look much whiter there. Maybe I was doing whiteface on that day. Very treacherous one. It's significantly worse. Like, significant. No, Wulong is an actual game.
Wolong, somebody's saying.
Okay, I don't care. All right, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. Okay, I don't care. I don't care. Oh, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Oh, this game. Yeah, I heard this game. Wait, was this game bad?
The game received generally favorable reviews with praise for its combat system.
Okay. Significantly worse than doing courtroom doing like a courtroom analysis on the Johnny Depp stuff, you know?
Secret Service are going to have to answer in the coming weeks. And then the other issue, obviously, is
God, I always hate when they do these plots to assassinate the president. Like George W. Bush, like said, like one reason we got to go to Iraq. Saddam tried to kill my daddy, and it's obviously bullshit. It's a very common lie that they tell.
Bro, he was saying he was negative when he played the second game and more positive while playing the first. It was a reflection of himself, not the game he was expressing.
Yeah, no, it was just not like, it just wasn't clear if you don't know what those references are.
Yeah. Well, his audience, I'm sure, understands it. The vibes and feel of the stream recently has been a lot more tense, and a lot of that is my fault. If you think that means my first stream back is going to be playing Dustborn and promoting Sweet Baby, I think you'll be very disappointed. Okay, first of all, Dustborn is a banger. We played it for as much as I physically could without losing my mind. I am, so that is a signifier that he's like still, you know, he's not been captured by the woke mob.
He's not going to play itch.io games on stream.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Sweet Baby Inc. is like, is what a lot of these gamers hate because like they think that they're doing DEI to games. Been on stream for a minute, didn't post this as punishment for leaving me out of the graphic. Wow. Wow. That's fucked up. He didn't even promote that he was on here. That's crazy. Dustborn is ass. Yeah, I know. It was just funny because it was ass. I'm not changing anything other than trying to be more positive and less mean-spirited. Also, sponsor had nothing to do with. This wasn't even the top 5 worst things I've said. I wanted to. It could be in the top 5.
I think context is a lot. Like, I think the reason people are super upset about this was that, like, you said this, like, the same week that, like, we saw somebody burned to death, like, in an IV, like a 19-year-old burned to death, you know, with an IV attached. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's what, like, it's, like, perhaps it's not in the top 5 worst things you've ever said. I hope that it is, for your sake. But, like, that's why people are mad. And anyway, that's an aside.
I want to step away from leadership and take a break from all that for a while now, over 1 year, because the amount of commitments compounded on top of maintaining my streaming schedule was unironically ruining my life. Also, if I'm not involved with them, why would it matter what I say? Hopefully, y'all can see how this really is a macro issue and not just this situation. My life has actually been fucked for a while now, and I need to fix it. I'm a 34-year-old single man living in his mother's house with dead animals and garbage. Although I don't, quote, in air quotes, hate it, I don't want to die this way.
Have any feedback or questions? Ask.
Yeah. Based, I think you should buy a new house, man. Get a change of scenery. It changes your life. S-Man literally called me last night at 3 a.m. trying to convince me to move in with him, lol. So yeah, he said this stuff. Yeah, he's got dead animals in his house. I think he like uses his rat as a. I believe he uses his rat as a like a alarm clock or something. That's what I've heard. I don't even know. Asmongold is like one of those people that people say shit about him, and I'm like, that's too far. Like, I can't in good conscience like believe that.
And then he
be real. And then it's like, no, he did do that.
I live in the house with dead animals and garbage. You know, could be stuffed. He's in Texas, aren't they? They do that there.
Yeah. At first, I thought he'd offered a great thesis on radicalization of young men online. Then he pulled that Reddit shit, and I'm like, never mind.
The Reddit shit being also the DEI die thing.
No, the DEI die thing, he's not going to stop that. That's his bread and butter, I think. Like, but I don't think he understands. It's kind of like when Israelis were roaming the streets, like protesting against the fucking Supreme Court decision, right? They didn't understand that like the vector of radicalization in Israeli society was that it was based on top of an apartheid regime. And if you don't address the root causes of that radicalization, you're not going to be able to like move in the positive direction. And for Asmongold, he doesn't understand that all the DEI stuff, all the woke DEI stuff is like also a vector of radicalization for him. Bro, turn the AC on. It is cold as fuck in here.
Yeah,
okay?
No, I run hot.
Yeah, it is literally cold as shit in here. Shut the fuck up.
Also, I like my pit stains.
Yeah.
I keep them.
Anyway, the best thing you do for himself is delete his subreddit. I think like not delete his subreddit, but just like don't go to it for a while, and just don't get like don't get primed into taking certain positions. So we'll see. Have you asked your guest if he needs water? He was first of all,
I have a Diet Coke
he's
right
a Diet
there.
Coke.
I'm
okay?
fine. Like I said, I just run hot. Police your own pits. Check your own pits, chat.
Yeah.
Besides, antiperspirant gives you pit stains. That's how you ruin shirts. Not me.
So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see where this goes. But I think his audience, for the most part, some will be receptive, some will not. But overall, I think like if you stay true to and if you're genuine about changing your beliefs and changing your opinion, then only time will tell. We'll see. I think especially on this issue, he will probably change his mind. But who knows? That's what I think.
I still think we really need him to do a travel stream to the Middle East. That would be incredible.
Anyway, but isn't the DEI shit a sign he really isn't that interested in changing? No, I think he categorizes it separately.
Yeah, I think it'll baby steps surely, but also I think that for a lot of those people, it's like it's been so normalized to talk about DEI as like this nefarious, like left-wing culture eating thing, as opposed to just like a fairly generic office style way of talking about like inclusion. Yeah. Like it's a bigger thing.
Yeah. We can't expect him to immediately jump to all struggles or one struggle. Yeah, he's not going to come back and be like, no war but class war, guys.
We are going to get third worldist Asmongold.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back with a copy of Settlers.
No, he's going to come and he's going to start reading like Adam Smith in Beijing on his stream.
JD Pawn, Asmongold. Yes, dude, permanent first world genocide. Okay. Unlimited first world genocide. If France Fanon. Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, he's gonna start calling America Maoist standard English. Shia Muslim leftist Asmongold, a man can dream. Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole lot of air between genocide and Reddit Gamergate DEI sweaty shit. Yeah,
although
I
it should
agree.
be noted that like he and Brianna Wu were on the opposite side of Gamergate, and now they're on the same side.
Maybe
of this.
that's what changed his perspective. He's like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Brianna Wu and I are on the same side, saying the same things.
That was the head check.
Yeah. Oh. No, it was because I told him that Palestinians have never made a Dustborn style game or a Concord style game.
Yeah, there's no Palestinian depression quest.
Yeah. So he should not have any beef with them. Asmongold. I like that he admitted that the brain rot started him being an r/atheist regular. Yeah, some of the really good parts of that apology that I do read as sincere for the most part, especially considering that he has no fucking reason to cop to this shit at all. It once again like talking about r/atheism, talking about how like maybe he did Reddit a little too hard, and that how like his perception changed over the course of many years of doing this kind of thing, because no one is above being primed off of propaganda, right? And I think that there's no reason to cop to it. Yeah, dude? The reason why I said there's no reason to cop to it is because look around, dude. Look around the world. That is the same reason why I was trying to tell the white people that were yelling at me when I was talking to Asmongold and being like, why are you walking him through the steps of like what bigotry is, instead of just like calling him a fucking incel nerd who is a racist over and over again?
Yeah, why'd you talk to him? Why'd you dangle him out of a building?
Yeah, instead of doing that, well, why did I do that? It's because, one, there's plenty of people in his audience that might be more receptive to my way of thinking when I'm having a normal conversation with him. And also, beyond that, virtually every single person, if you fucking step outside of like this community or any other fucking community that you exist in online, kind of is on the same wavelength as Asmongold. Okay,
well, that's a good point about
to
like
varying degrees,
because the community part of it is where it's like you can spend. I mean, a lot of these guys like sort of, and I, you know, in general, I think like the right wing like pundit sphere on the internet or whatever, like they're convinced that their audience is real life in a certain sense. Like there's like a, like, you know, I don't want to paint an overbroad brush with that, but it does seem that like there's a degree to which like they start to develop senses of like what's normal, not just like, you know, what their own opinions are, whatever, but like what's viewed as normal by everybody else has become something, you know, dictated by, as he said, like, oh, like it's why he emphasizes the Reddit stuff so much in explaining like, why did I think this way or whatever. It's because he, you know, there are all these people with this kind of media diet, and he came to think that was normal, that all that bullshit was something that is just what people believe.
Yeah. I'm an Asmongold fan that just crossed over after seeing the debate I posted on YouTube, but wanted to get this out here as well. I've been a fan of Asmongold for quite a while. Despite him saying some things I disagree with, he'd say a lot of things I do agree with, and I've never watched you because the entire community seems to despise you and make you out as a ridiculous, inhospitable person. Well, he said something now that I could never agree with, and coming over here to watch this debate with him just completely shattered any respect or agreements I have with him, and you've earned a sub for me. I'm not really a leftist. I'm sure there's some things you and I also don't agree on, but I will never agree with the genocide of people simply because of what they do. The patience and knowledge you displayed here really won me over and even educated me tenfold on the humanitarian and geopolitical situation. And it angered me so much that no matter how long you stayed to try and convince him to help him see the truth of the matter, for 3 fucking hours, he just refused to take in information, actually process and internalize it. I disagree. I think he probably did process it and internalize it, but that kind of stuff doesn't happen instantly, and it certainly won't happen online in front of cameras, for the record. That is the thing that you have to also understand when these conversations take place. It's not going to change anyone's opinion or attitude in real time. Okay.
That's a good point. Hollywood is like where that happens. Hollywood and like movies and television and like, you know,
Aaron Sorkin.
Exactly. Like that's where that happens. That's not real life. Like real life is you have these things and they accumulate. And then, by the way, a crisis or something that like shakes your understanding, a shock to the system comes. And that's what allows you to think, well, hold on, now I can have a perspective shift. Something like clearly this has not been working, so I've got to see things in a new way. And who knows if the new way he sees things is in fact new. But, you know, it is like, frankly, this is often the only way that people can change their attitude about things.
I can tell you actually deeply care about these things, but I didn't get that from him at all and just pissed me off. This is serious. People should care. Children are dying for no reason. If it were happening to us over here, you wouldn't actually care who your brother in arm was. You would support them and help them protect your children, home, and country. I truly hope he processes all these things and changes and comes to an honest conclusion, not one based on saving face or money. Congrats on the new sub, man. I look forward to more content from you. This was posted before the Asmongold's apology. But yeah, that's like, that is, you know, that is why I do what I do, I guess, and say the things I say, and just even if you don't fully understand it, even if you don't fully recognize it, like there is a method to it, you know? Yeah. Bill Maher posted on the Asmongold subreddit, of course. Anyway.
And I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that I've done and for letting my life get this out of control. And I don't need a get out of jail free card. So I need to do that for myself and for my own closure as well. And I think also I want to live for the idiots out there that, you know, they're, you know, like looking to me to be a role model, right? Oh, not a good idea. But there are people that will see that and they'll think maybe to themselves, maybe I should do the same thing. And if I can do that for one person, well, I've already done it for myself. I've already done a good thing. And so it could only get better. And so that's what my plan is.
Yeah, this is also a decent take from Juniper. This is unironically a major part of how right-wingers have been able to maintain social media control for a decade now. They encourage you to be a worse person by embracing genuinely evil traits about yourself and then reward you monetarily if you do so. Never apologize to the mob. It's like, dude, apologizing is not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing at all. Growth is a good thing. And I think that a lot of people don't recognize that. And a lot of people on the left don't recognize that either. And I am not one of those people. We'll see. Like I said, time will tell. I'm not like, I totally understand it. People aren't like immediately rushing to forgive Asmongold for his statements or all the things that he's said in the past. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. I'm simply stating that my suspicion, at least on this issue, is that he probably will definitely have a most likely a real change of heart. Having said that, however, I'm sure that the DEI stuff will continue because I don't think a lot of people.
The DEI's die will continue until morale
I don't think
improves.
I don't think that people understand that like that is the vector of radicalization that sparks your journey. That is the start of this kind of stuff.
It is like
because that's why I always try to say. Sorry to cut you off. That's why I always try to tell you like kill the reactionary part of your brain. Like. An example I can give you is Jank. An example I can give you is Anna Kasparian. Like when you find yourself, susceptible to right-wing framing on certain issues without thinking clearly through them, there is like, it's almost like a muscle. You're training yourself into basically subscribing to certain ideals or certain ideas or certain talking points without engaging in critical thinking. And it can be one vector of radicalization. It can be one thing, right? And that slowly but surely starts changing the way that you view everything, okay? It slowly but surely starts helping you come to conclusions on every other issue. It might start with like the crime panic. It might start with you maybe having a traumatic experience with like a homeless person or something. Like with Jank, he saw like a homeless person and then he was like, that's it, I'm done, right? And then he started being like, no, we got to do something about this crime stuff. And then all of a sudden, even if you are a very progressive person, even if you've been a champion of progressive values for 15 fucking plus years, 20 years at this point, you find yourself saying things like Gavin Newsom is releasing 75,000 prisoners in the state of California when that is obviously not the fucking reality, without like examining that statement whatsoever. And then slowly but surely, it actually seeps into other things that you might have believed in the past that you no longer are believing and that you are more primed and more susceptible to right-wing framing on, whether it's like trans stuff or this or that, like, and it slowly takes over your consciousness and it slowly but surely radicalizes you.
And it makes I mean, like, to me, like that radicalization, a huge part of it is because what's changing is not just like, oh, my opinion on the content of this specific issue, but it's the structure of your thought. It's the idea of, it's like the cynicism and the expectation that like, oh, well, all people who are homeless and stuff, like they want to steal stuff and they're, it's consequences of choices. And if you've now, accepted that premise, if you've granted that, then you'll start like thinking about that, you'll like that same idea, like the same set of assumptions that you'll bring to that set of, that situation will be what you bring to everything from, trans people in sports and how that's just about people wanting to, outcompete biological females or whatever, something gross like that.
Yeah.
Like it's a very,
you will always, in the intersectionality of bigotry and the intersectionality of oppression, there is always going to be something that kind of fits the bill for you. Okay. And the right very clearly and very deliberately go back to the drawing board regularly. I'll give you the issue of trans panic stuff in the United States of America, right? When they did the bathroom bill in North Carolina, everyone was like, that's weird and gross. What the fuck? And businesses were like, we're pulling out of North Carolina. Donald Trump was pro-trans at the time in 2016. He said, Caitlyn Jenner can take a shit or piss in whichever bathroom she wants to, right? Now, that seems like a lifetime ago. That was only 8 years ago. And now, if you look at the right-wing framing on this issue, it's dramatically different. So what happened in that time frame? Republican groups like, Family Values Seminar or whatever, like all these fucking right-wing Christian nationalist groups, think tanks, looked at that situation and saw that that was not a helpful way to invoke trans panic, to create this idea that like, trans people were this like nefarious force that was destroying society. So they went back to the drawing board and they tested out and focus grouped different forms of messaging. And they inevitably landed on something that was very successful, When you say trans people are pedophiles or whatever, that is not a successful method to get normal people on board. Okay, that's not a successful method to get normal people on board with your cause. When you, however, turn around and say trans people are indecently trying to destroy fairness in sports, a concept that Americans approach, a concept that Americans understand is like the only real meritocracy in the United States of America, sports, when trans people are actually, transing themselves specifically to like win competitions. It sounds silly because it actually is silly, but that is a tested focus group message that actually stuck. And that's why they kept harping on it over and over again.
I mean, it's also because it taps into existing like biases and latent homophobia. I mean, Castor Semenya and the scandal about, this woman is supposedly too male or masculine to participate in international organized athletic competition. That preceded this trans panic. That preceded this current wave of this. And it's sort of, it's kind of it's a sad and scary thing because it's real regression in that, like, oh, here was like a previous incident, except we're now going to make the whole culture out of this set of grievances. We're going to now, like, these aren't totally unfamiliar tactics either, is my point. It's that, they will root around for it and find whichever window they can break into to dominate the conversation.
Yeah. So that is something that you have to understand. Okay, that is something that you have to recognize, that they are the right is always looking for new ways of getting more people on board with their messaging. They're always desperately trying to bring more people on board and try to get people to see the world from their perspective. And they are doing it strategically. When something doesn't work, they turn around and change it. People don't hate trans people as much as like Matt Walsh does. People, by and large, think trans people are weird. They don't understand it. But they also, by large majorities, consider trans people to be discriminated against. How the fuck does that make sense, right? It's because they think trans people are weird, but they don't like care enough to actually fucking go out and ban some kind of like medical procedure, right? That's it.
I'm going to try to rethink my life. I have had a lot of people reach out to me.
I'm going to show
people I would have never expected reach out to me in ways that I never expected. And I understand that, I'm still very critical about, religious fundamentalism, right? But when you paint with such a broad brush that you just include an entire group of people, you're just being you're being a piece of shit. It's like people said it was racist. I didn't mean it as racist, but if you listen to what I said, it's easy that you could assume that. So easy. And so I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking moron. I've been an asshole. I think that I've devolved for the last 2 years. I think that I've negatively affected other people too, in ways that I hate. I don't even hate to say this. Like I think I need to say this. I need to say it more. I've negatively affected people in ways that I regret. I think whenever I go back live again, I'll probably talk about that more. And there's some just different people I kind of want to apologize to, and take accountability for things that I've said and done that have negatively affected other people in ways that were unfair and wrong. And that's what my plan is. That's about it. I want to say that I hope that now, after you've heard what I have to say, that a lot of you all can see kind of why I'm saying that I appreciate this. I really think that this is something I needed, and I hope that this is the next part of the rest of my life. And I want you guys to hold me accountable to that. So if I'm being a fucking asshole again, if I'm being mean, if I'm just being callous, acting like a psychopath, just treating people awfully outside of a WoW raid when they get killed by fire, but really laughing at people's misfortune, try to say, man, just chill the fuck out, stop it. Just stop. And I'm gonna do my best to listen. I spent 2 years ignoring it, and look where it got me. This is not even the tip of the iceberg of the problems in my life. And I want to thank everybody for making me aware that that's the case. And hopefully I can avoid the iceberg, right? And so I want to say that's pretty much about all I've got. I'm sorry for a lot of people I let down, not just with comments like this, but also just with the way I've been doing things in general. I think that you guys deserve a much better version of me than what you've been getting. And I hope that I can live up to that in the future. And I don't even want to think about it in the future, right? As soon as I get unbanned, the best apology is better content, change behavior. And that's what I hope to do. So yeah, anyway guys, I'm just gonna focus on myself for a while, try to improve my own life.
Someone called you Felix.
I mean, that's just anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitism.
That's anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitism is alive and well.
Get me ADL. I want Jonathan Greenblatt in here right now.
Who do you think Jonathan Greenblatt hates more? Anti-Zionist Jews such as yourself or anti-Zionist Muslims such as myself?
It's a hard question, man, because it's...
Like, who would he has one bullet in the gun. Who does he kill?
The Jew.
Probably, right?
Yeah, no,
I feel like
because you hate the thing that more resembles you. You know, that is to
I think
me,
yeah, he's definitely killing you first.
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
I'm dead. I'm done. I'm cooked.
Yeah. He's gonna try to line us back to back with one another. And try to hit both of us.
He'll do the thing from what's that movie Wanted, where they curl
yeah,
the
they
bullet.
curve the bullet. Yeah.
Yeah, line us up.
This was a much more solid. This was a much more solid video than I expected it to be.
I agree, and I think it's because he didn't waste time trying to talk about like the particulars of anything he said, or even like, you know, what I meant to say. I mean, he said he tried to slice that religious extremism thing versus whatever about, but like it was also clear that like whatever this amount, like this volume that he got from these remarks, like, I mean, yeah, he's very explicitly saying like, my life is fucked, I got to fix it, you know, and to me, it's like that's. Generally speaking, when anybody in an earnest, like if they're clearly speaking from the heart on that kind of thing, even, you know, no matter what kind of person they are, it is like somewhat moving because it's like, yeah, it's like somebody conceding that they're at some kind of a bottom. You know?
Yeah. Especially, like I said, you don't have to do this, especially when you're Asmongold. You definitely don't have to do this, especially on an issue that like, a lot of people on the right universally agree with, and maybe even some people on the left, not left, but like liberals, agree with that. Like Islam is barbaric, and yeah, they do deserve like Israel punishing them for being barbaric. So, you know, don't worry, you got his ass, you won. That's so. That's. What do you mean I got his ass? I don't think, like, I didn't do anything. I didn't tell him to say the things that he said, and I didn't fucking, like, I didn't even try to, like, own him when I had a conversation. Like, I tried to have as charitable a conversation as possible. I think he probably also recognizes that, too. There is no winning in the situation. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Race in the chat, crying that Asmongold is trying to be a good person. Yeah, it is pretty funny. Yeah, there is no reason to ever change trajectory. Like people will always hug box you.
I mean, especially also like if you have like an audience his size, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, the next video when he does his DEI is die thing, I'm sure he'll come back and everybody will love him again.
But that's the classics. He can't do that. He can't. He you know, that's what I need. I need that. I need that in my veins. You dozed really well from the start. Following some of chat's advices would have had you burn a bridge. Yeah, I know. I don't listen to chat, and there is no reason to listen to chat ever. Yeah, be charitable, be normal. As been growing means this community can grow. More people being knowledgeable about this is always a good thing. I agree. Oh, okay. Despite all the shit the drama baiters feed him, he always tries to stay charitable towards you and hear you out. The difference between him and some other people is that they don't listen. Yeah. My dad My dad actually found a hair guy for Austin. He told me on the phone the other day. You keep calling it a debate, but it felt like a conversation. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't a debate. I mean, it's being packaged as that for, SEO purposes, but I was wrong on Hasan giving him charitability. Proudly wrong. Yes. All right. On that note, we got a lot of news to cover. Vice President Harris is campaigning in Pennsylvania. A record number of voters are turning out early for voting, which is a good sign for Kamala Harris. And the campaign is probably one of the only good signs that has existed. We can do all that stuff if you would like to participate. There's also, first and foremost, let's talk about my goat, my king. Shy Davide. Shy David. My shy
guy.
My king. It's not a good day today.
Did you see the New York Times did a push alert saying that he was banned from campus?
No way.
Yeah, I was out earlier and I got that. No, it was bad.
Yeah, I can't believe that the most anti-Semitic university is now Columbia officially.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia
is now. Also, I gotta say, I watched that video of him bumping into people like 10 times at least or whatever, and I do think that had he left it at that, this wouldn't have happened. But it's because he's spent he's been doing this. He's doing no, he isn't. Somebody said, Shy Davide is having a mental health episode. Can we just stop encouraging it? And he's like, no, I'm not.
I cannot believe they wrote a whole article about it. Columbia bars vocal pro-Israel professor. That's a good way to describe him. That's a good way to describe the situation.
Pro-Israel. Let's go with Columbia bars.
Psychopathic professor who is a serial harasser of students on campus.
Columbia bars business school gadfly from campus.
He literally... Dude, did you see the video of the Palestinians pro-Palestinian protesters walking past them?
Yeah, that's what I meant. The one where he's bumping people. He's like, that was something me.
Yeah. He walks up to the administration. He's like, this is there were a lot of incompetent administrators during the Holocaust.
He reminded me. You ever see the end of Animal House?
I don't remember.
It's basically Kevin Bacon in an ROTC uniform screaming all is well while he's getting run over by people. It's just very no, I'm fascinated by his continued existence. I mean, look, now at this point though, he's he kind of is getting something he wants, which is sad and unfortunate because the ban is good, it's good in the sense that it's fair treatment, or at least, it's not fair treatment because the pro-Palestinian people should never have been banned or whatever, the punishments they've gotten. But he's gonna martyr himself, and we've never seen somebody who has been this excited, who's been this excited to become a martyr, for the state of Israel. I'm not Felix, by the way. I'm seeing some people confuse me. I'm not Felix.
It's because I promoted. I think in the title I said Felix and. Oh, I said Noah too.
No. This is it's anti-Semitism.
This is anti-Semitism.
This is going noticed, and you all need to improve your behavior. While we're talking about this, it's a serious thing.
Okay, you guys need to stop saying that. Even as a joke, you got to stop saying he's Felix, or even jokingly say it because. Right now, I'm already getting fucking bouldered as being a vector of anti-Semitism. By my former podcast co-host. Okay, so I don't want any more additional fucking data points for people to literally look at and be like, oh, it's real, it's happening.
No, I am curious though what the quotes are in this piece. Who did they get to supply commentary or expert analysis?
Columbia bars vocal pro-Israel professor from campus. University says Shy Davide is repeatedly harassing and intimidated employees. He said that the university has not done enough to crack down on pro-Palestinian protests. Columbia University has temporarily barred a vocally pro-Israel professor for campus. There is this right here. This right here is the kindest way that you can write an article about this man, by the way.
Yeah, dude. I would it's I'm sure that I would love to get the audio of their attempt to contact and get a comment from him.
Yeah. Shai Davide, an assistant professor in the business school, has been polarizing presence on campus since October 7, when Hamas led an attack on Israel that
Hamas led an attack on Israel that has turned Gaza into a battlefield. Folks, Hamas has turned Gaza into a battlefield.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Hamas that did it on October 7th by not even being in Gaza. Actually,
Yeah.
by crossing into Israel, they turned Gaza into a battlefield. There wasn't another party here that had anything to do with this.
crack open a new zin for this one, a fresh one, a freshie. I need this.
All right, I'm gonna keep reading this. In recent days, oh wait, hold on. Oh, sorry. He often makes videos of student activists and administrators and posts them online. Actions, his critics say, blow past the boundaries of civility and policy. In recent days, Professor Davide has used his X account, which has more than 100,000 followers, to accuse several student groups of supporting terrorism, posted the name and email address of a Columbia professor he suggested was okay with rape, murder, torture, and kidnapping, and falsely called Rashid Khalidi, a respected Palestinian scholar at Columbia who is retiring, a spokesperson for Hamas. That's
Dude,
such a
the
small...
amount of racism and Islamophobia you can get away with by simply like positioning it as like Muslims existing or Arabs existing is like automatically.
I am a grown man.
Yeah,
and I cried.
I
cried.
Oh, that was the first one, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm a professor and I had tears in my eyes.
Okay.
Tears.
His accent's not that.
No,
thick.
it's not.
You're giving Jonathan Concoucrius right now.
Terror baby. No, that's why he's allowed to teach in America. He doesn't quite sound like that.
Yeah,
but you know what? I speak Hebrew. I can get away with it.
Okay, well, but once again. Noah, let me tell you something. This is the worst day that I could have had Noah and Felix on, considering that there is like an entire podcast dedicated to like how anti-Semitic I am, apparently, from my former podcast co-host.
Well, no, consider me your shield, pal.
It doesn't work that way. They don't give a shit.
What?
People don't give a shit. I told Jonathan Greenblatt hates you.
Damn it.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, he brought his token or something. Worst day, Kismet, but also worst day for this to happen. Shai Davide, known solely for...
this was awesome. I remember this video.
This was amazing because Times of Israel wrote an article about this where they put his quote and he said, "This is 1938." He's like, "It's 1938 that I'm not allowed into the school so that I can continue fucking harassing students." Look at how excited he gets.
Exactly.
He's like, everybody, my card has been deactivated. He's like so stoked.
This is Gerald Lewis. They were in the meeting where I asked them if Hamas is a terror organization, and they couldn't say that it is a terrorist organization. Why? Jay! No, speak out loud. No, I am a professor here. No, everybody quiet. I am a professor here. I have every right to be everywhere on campus. You cannot let people that support Hamas on campus and me, a professor, not go on campus. Let me in now. We're not gonna let
I love that part. Let me in now.
I'm allowed to be on campus and harass the students who
listen, I can take as many pictures of students in the library as I want.
It's so wild to say this about Columbia campus once again. Like they sent in the anti-terrorism squad to like pack up a bunch of students that were brave enough to fucking protest against the Israeli genocide and Columbia's participation.
I mean, you're not allowed to protest on Columbia's campus, but they'll set up fucking mini golf on the quad, which I saw a picture of today.
Wait, not even you're talking about the milk cartons, right?
Oh no! Well,
did you see that one? That was crazy.
I did see that one.
They put on the quad. They put like all the hostages because like at this point, it's so obvious that it's just to continue letting Israel do whatever the fuck it wants. Like Benjamin Netanyahu's like, I don't care about the hostages. They can die. I will kill them personally. Like I care significantly more about invading Lebanon. And that's what happened. Like there were protests. There were ceasefire protests. And it's just completely gone now.
Also, this is like a camp. I mean, this is beating like the deadest horse a year into this now. But it's like also this is a campus that like aggressively markets itself as a place that learned the lessons from breaking up the '68 protests and how that was like it's just such a the whole thing is such a like dark carnival. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But Talia says Shai Davide, known solely for obsessively harassing Ivy League students opposed to and impacted by the genocide,
By the
was
way,
reportedly banned.
that deserves emphasis because she's totally right. He is known solely for that. We don't know anything about what he teaches.
Yeah. Here he is last semester when his ID was denied because he intended to harass students. Yeah. I can't believe he said that about Rashid Khalidi. Like that is insane.
I mean, but this is like such a thing with them. Like people who are this bought into the idea of like what Zionism is and how Israel must be defended. Like any Palestinian is a threat. Like it's the dynamic on the ground writ large and in the discourse, but it's like the presence of a Palestinian, even the idea of somebody as like respected, like Rashid Khalidi, guy who's been on the New York Times bestseller list now for most of the year. I mean, it's laughable.
She's snoring. She's dreaming. Show him the video yesterday of the Zionist Psycho. No. This is obviously a hilarious situation that took place. I'm sure he'll be back.
How did you allow this to happen?
It's funny because it doesn't matter. There's no bottom to like what you can say and get punished, especially at these institutions. You know what I mean? There's just nothing. You can get away with whatever the fuck you want. Shai has harassed students. Shai has called Jewish anti-Zionist Columbia students like capos. He has said unhinged shit about Ta-Nehisi Coates, saying that Ta-Nehisi Coates would rape people.
Oh, that was crazy. That tweet was fucking nuts.
Yeah. And
like, here it is. And what was so nuts about it too is how he wrote it in such a way where he's like, oh, I'm not saying he did this. I'm saying he's not above it.
Yeah.
Which was like,
yeah, he's consistently also taken advantage of like the dynamic State Department associations with like any kind of pro-Palestinian group to be like, see, they're fucking they brought terrorists to the campus. They were being paid by terrorism. Like all these college campus protests were being paid by Hamas. Ridiculous shit. He doxed me and filmed me while I had a student press pass on and yelled in my face for taking a photo. Yeah. It's just there's an endless untapped well of inhumanity that you can engage with without getting any fucking scrutiny whatsoever. I do still think that like the tides are changing a little bit.
I mean,
for sure. Like even from the tides, the attitude and the way that people perceive Israel 100% has changed. Perhaps for the rest of our existence until America falls apart. The American empire crumbles.
Well, no, Israel will fall apart before we do.
Yeah, but I'm saying institutional attitudes are changing as well with the CBS conversation, with Ta-Nehisi Coates' like reception in the media and the way that they recognize the treatment. Like I think that. Once again, liberals look for permission, right? Like Ta-Nehisi's the message offered a permission structure for a lot of people who were staying quiet, even if they had like a genuine disagreement with the way that things were going on. And I think that like having a liberal media darling like that, who literally worked for The Atlantic, which is run by a Israeli prison guard. Okay, am I wrong?
No, he wrote a book. I mean, Jeffrey Goldberg